All right, let's go ahead and get over here on Zoom. We got Jay on Zoom. What's on your mind, Jay? Okay, Jay is trying to connect his audio here.
Hi, are you okay, sir?
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Okay, Lee. Hold on a minute. I've just got a few problems here. Yes, so what I was I was wanting to continue with the previous discussion I had with you, sir. And basically, you were talking about
Okay,
the
Jay,
I
you
was talking
turned your camera off, sir. Is that so you can oil yourself up and touch yourself, or is there a reason for that?
well, no, I mean, what, do I have to keep my camera on?
No, you don't. I can drop your call if you prefer.
No, no, I'll let me bring my camera up if I can. Okay, you okay there, sir?
All right, sir. Let's get on with it here.
Yeah, basically, I mean, I wanted to talk about the issue of authority, and I wanted to talk about the issue of um, can a woman in these conditions that you're seeing in the United States and in the Western world, can they truly love a man? This is the thing, because you're talking a lot about the issue of
Yes they
materialism.
can, but you need to understand that love is a word that has different meanings to different people.
Right.
Therefore, you have to accept that reality. A man's definition of respect is not the same as a woman's. That's the reason why if a woman is disrespected, they argue. If a man is disrespected, somebody's liable to die.
So, what would be your definition of a woman's version of love and a man's version of love, other than the issue of dying and other than the issue of like arguing? What would you say?
A man, men, show me what a man spends his money on, and I'll show you what he loves. Show me what a
Right.
man is sacrificing his time and effort for, and I will show you what he loves. I can take a
Because
look at your bank account, and I will see what you love. Right there. I'll see that.
right.
That's very, very quick right there, and that's why so much gravity is put on that. But show me what a man commits his money and his time and his effort toward, and I will show you that which he loves. Now,
Because
for a
yeah.
woman, show me what she nurtures and is willing to put herself in harm's way for, and I will show you that which she loves and is passionate about.
Right. Because if a woman is looking at a Lamborghini, or if she's looking at like a big house, I'm asking myself the question, does she really love the man, or does she love the wealth? Is this woman a gold digger, or is she a genuine person? Because once again, there's an issue here whereby women will just marry a man for money and just divorce a man a few years down the
Yes,
line.
but the
And
issue is when you are such a depressed, dried out, desperate male that you cannot tell when a woman is there for you versus when she's there for your resources.
but most women in the West are only going to be dating you for three reasons.
Okay, well, sir, here's the issue. That's like what you just did. That's the same as women saying, well, the only thing these men want is sex. Duh.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
that's yeah, yeah, that's correct. That's
Okay,
my point
what
exactly.
is the benefit of a man being with a woman if there's no sexual activity? He can hang out with some niggas and have no sexual activity. Why does he want to hang out with her and have no sexual activity? That's not a girlfriend, that's a roommate. Inversely, why would a female hang out with you if she's not gonna get anything from you that she ain't gonna get from another man? She can sit with another dude and sit there and talk and eat milk and cookies and not have her life changed. She can be with anybody and get sex and not have her life changed. Why the hell should she be with you?
Well,
Duh.
yeah, I mean, once again, I mean, the
Okay,
fundamental
if this
problem.
were your daughter, would you
Yes.
tell your daughter to spend time with a man with and tell her and there should be when you are measuring this man's value, there should be zero financial factors taken into consideration at all. None.
Well, basically, what I would advise
Okay,
her.
whoa. Stop. That's a
Right.
yes or a no question. If you had a daughter, would you tell her, baby, The man you think about spending your life with, you should be talking about everything with him except his finances. That should never be a factor or consideration. Would you tell your daughter that if she were evaluating a man to commit to?
No.
Duh. Nobody in their right damn mind would. The first thing you're thinking is, I'll be damned, this is my damn legacy over here. Well, she's a female. Yeah, and I expect her to follow you. But you need to show me what the hell she following. And you haven't demonstrated that you can compete with us other men. So how can I be secure in your ability to head your household when you have not demonstrated that you can compete? I don't want my daughter with an uncompetitive male, a financially incompetent male. No. Because we live in a world that runs on money. Let's stop with the bull jive. We live in a world that runs on money. And if my daughter is going to be subjected to that on the first of every damn month, I'm not going to turn her over to the leadership of a man who can't handle the first of the month. And the first of the month is going to come up every damn 30 days. I'm not doing that.
So, and that is why that's fundamentally what my concern is, Jason. Because at the end of the day, the trend that I'm seeing in the Western world is one where women will go off with a rich man and they will get his resources. And once they're done with him, they'll divorce him and then they'll get off with a younger Chad. So, for example, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, she herself did the same thing. She got off with a very rich man. Now she's rich. She's divorcing him, and then she's going off with a young.
Okay. Here's the issue. Here's the issue, sir. Once again, if you are deficient in your ability to analyze personalities and to see character or lack thereof, a man ain't supposed to be 40 damn years old and is naive to female nature. The whole red pill thing exists because you have a generation, 2 generations of males who have made it to middle age and are damn me naive to female nature. Now, the women are not being naive to men, but the males are running around happily naive about females. Lauren Boebert is a damn barracuda. She's a damn viper. And she's been that way. She runs her politics that way. She is the most obvious avaricious viper that you could ever possibly meet. There's nothing hidden about her. Now, she's also a go-getter. She's articulate. She's aggressive. She's bat crap crazy, which means she's probably dynamite in bed. Okay, if you're a fella who gets blinded by that, then you're overlooking, ignoring, dismissing the negative sides of all those things I just mentioned. Because, well, let me get some of this bat crap crazy sex. Okay, but dude, she gonna give you that for 30 minutes or an hour, depending on how long she wanna be there. And then you're gonna have to live with her for the other 23 hours of the day with all the scheming and stuff she gonna bring up with all those other things we mentioned. Now, you're not supposed to be naive about female nature in that regard. The side dude that she been cheating on her husband with, that's who you supposed to be with her. That's who her damn husband should be. You should recognize, hey, you ain't wife material. You crazy. You're volatile. You are calculating. Let me tell y'all something. The women in my family taught me about that young. Watch out for a calculating female. That's the biggest warning I was given by the women in my family for 2 generations. Beware of a calculating female. Because as men dealing with women, you have to let your guard down. You've let your guard down around somebody who's calculating. Well, if she's spending so much time around you, she must be calculating on you also. Lauren is obviously calculating. So is Lauren Southern. So is, what's her name? Tommy Lauren. I can go down the list of these women who are obviously calculating. And once you understand this and know this, how the hell can you still respond to or make a response about them as if that's not what they are anymore?
Well, I mean, if you look at the situation, women in the West, I mean, I don't want to sound like a misogynist or a sexist. Women in the West are calculating to one extreme or another. It's like a broad spectrum. And as a result of this, due to the sexual revolution in the 1960s, due to the rise of feminism, we in the West in particular, I don't know about the East, to be honest. In the West in particular, we have women generally with a certain type of mindset. So the vast and overwhelming majority of women that you will meet up with in the West, hardly any of them are virgins, I don't think.
Okay, but here's the issue here. You should never lose a fight if you already know what your enemy is going to do. So if these are things they're already, if in your estimation, I'm not saying that what you're saying is true or not, but let's just say it is. If that is factual, then there's no reason you should be taken unawares.
Right. And that's the exact problem. If a woman has got a high lay count before she's married to you, then at the end of the day, her ability to pair bond with you is going to be somewhat fried.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, sir, all of that you about to go into, that's a given. Once again, that's not something that snuck up on you. So if you do have a bad situation with her, it's because you extended too far. I ain't telling fellas here not to sleep with hoes. You want to sleep with hoes? That's perfectly fine. Knock yourselves out. A hoe is supposed to be in her pocket. She's supposed to be in the square you put her in. She's supposed to be in that box that you put her in. The problem becomes when you take a hoe and try to put her in the housewife box. There's where the problem comes in. She didn't sneak up on you. If you knew this was a hoe, if you knew this was a problem, why the hell didn't you, if you're going to interact with her, why didn't you keep her in that box? Well, I get lonely. As I said, niggas get lonely. And rather than them stepping their value up so that they have more options than just hoes, they instead leave their value where it is and they become experts at whining about hoes. Okay, that's what we got is sir, hoes. Calm yourself down.
Sorry.
Yeah, they become experts at doing what you've done the last couple of times you called me. They become experts at complaining about the women's behavior, but what they don't become are experts at elevating their value so they can have options outside of that. Everybody wants
options outside.
There's your so-called red pill community. By the way, y'all can look this up on YouTube if you want to. Remember, Jason Black was the very first one and the only one that, while everybody else was following Rollo Tomasi like lemmings, talking about transactional relationships versus validational, and I was the guy who said this guy doesn't know anything about this. All relationships are transactional. Now some of the dudes in his camp are putting up videos titled "All relationships are transactional." You're welcome, fellas. By the way, you're welcome. You're late to the party, but thanks for showing that at least you can get wisened up. All relationships are transactional. Guess what? All relationships should be transactional. Now, what all relationships should not be is mercenarial. All relationships should not be commercial, and they should not be mercenarial. But all relationships are and should be transactional. If I'm giving you something, I should be getting something in return. Otherwise, this is not a relationship. This is charity.
So here's the problem then. The point is, then, I mean, if most of these women, I mean, if you increase your value to the max and become like, I don't know, a Donald J. Trump or a Warren Buffett, or if you become like, like a Cody Bryant.
What in the hell's the matter with you?
Sorry. Now, if you reach that level, it doesn't necessarily mean that the woman is not going to divorce you anyway. It doesn't necessarily mean this. I mean, women are completely fried. They're just going for the pretty boys. That's what I'm understanding. So the best move to make here is to not get involved with any of them in the first place.
Okay, because time is at a premium here. Brother, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You keep going back to two things, money and looks. So what does that tell people?
Status, yeah.
Well, you don't seem to know what status really is. So, and you didn't describe status.
Very difficult to define.
No, it's not. It is not difficult to define at all. I've already defined it previously on tonight's broadcast. So no, sir. You're trying to, the issue with fellas like yourself, no offense, you all are trying to figure out how to get something for nothing. That's the yes. You all are trying to figure out how to get something for nothing. Rather than saying, hey, let me ask the women, what is it that you want? and then demonstrate to them, I am your best option for getting what you want. And therefore, now I've got the leverage to get what I want. Hey, ladies, I am the shortest distance between 2 points to get what you want. And the only thing it will cost you is what I want. And what I'm saying is, I don't think there's any part of your life where you can say that to the average female in London, no offense, the average female in Essex, the average female in Yorkshire. I don't think there's any part of your life you can say that in, which is why you keep coming back to, well, they just want the good-looking guy. Okay, yeah. Sir, and what in the hell is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. But
No. You raised it as a negative, as if, well, that's all they want. Sir, well, okay, you're raising it as a negative. And we just said, what's wrong with it? Nothing. Then how is it a negative if there's nothing wrong with it?
Well, from their perspective, it's not a negative. But from our perspective, it is a negative.
Who's our? Back up, nigga. Who's our? Was this we? We're in France. I don't see, sir, I don't see it as a negative either way. Men should be competitive and women should be competitive. You want the best. Correct. You want the best woman. Another word for best is she's competitive. She's out competing the others. She's out competing them in looks, in articulation, in intelligence, in femininity. Yeah, she's beating them, and you just use the word best. Just like if we talk about Usain Bolt or somebody at the Olympics, who ran the best? Oh, you mean the one who's most competitive? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. And there's nothing wrong with a good-looking woman who wants the man she's with to match. There's nothing wrong with that. And so you're raising it as a negative. And what I'm saying is, fellas who don't compete well, they resent that. And what I'm saying is, that's never going to change. That's biology. Idris Elba is always going to be what they're aiming for. That's got nothing to do with Hollywood. That's biology. So telling women, you shouldn't want that fella. He just tall, dark, handsome, intelligent, articulate. He used to kickbox. He rich. Why would you want that? Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself?
And that's why, I don't think I can become an Idris Elba. I doubt that. I mean, he's in the elite. So as a result of this, all you can do is compete to your best. I mean, there's genetics determinism.
Right. But what determines if you are competitive, sir? What determines if you're actually being competitive?
So if you're able to work to the best of your ability and, compete with people on your level.
On your level. Okay.
I'm not going to compete with someone like Trump or Warren Buffett, to be frank. I mean, I don't want to sound like a defeatist. I doubt I'm going to reach that level in the time I have left on the earth. So I have to be realistic. So the point is, I'm never going to ask a woman, excuse me, what do you prefer? I'm going to observe their behavior. And no matter how rich I become, most of these women are going to be gold diggers. They're going to be fried up in terms of like their
brother, how much do you make a year? And you can give me the pounds equation of it. How much you make a year?
52,000 per annum.
Okay, brother, you got to earn the right to call chicks gold diggers. You can't say the females are gold diggers and you ain't got no gold to dig.
I suppose so.
Suppose me ass. Brother, I'm being diplomatic about this, but let's get to reality here. Let's be realistic. Let's be mature. You can't call women gold diggers and you ain't got no gold to dig. You're trying to protect Trump's money and Warren Buffett's money and Bill Gates' money. You know whose money you ain't trying to protect? Yours. Because there ain't none to get. Let's just stop that. There ain't nothing to get, so you fellas sit up here and go through these psychological war games. And meanwhile, ain't no broad over there really stunting no 50,000 pounds a year?
In the UK, 52,000 not too bad. It's pretty good.
Okay, sir, but it ain't kill your mama money neither.
Say again?
Sir, that's middle class. Well, for what constitutes middle class for you all over there. That's middle class. It ain't balling. It's not balling, dude.
Well, I mean, I've got also a $250,000 house as well, £2 house as well, £250,000 on a 2-bedroom house in London.
Congratulations.
So it's not a multi-millionaire lifestyle or anything like that. But what I'm saying is,
okay, folks, I want y'all to understand something right now. Let's stop with the bull jive. I just went to go get the conversion of it. 50,000 pounds translates to $63,000 American dollars. Let's stop the bull crap. Let's stop the bull jive. Let's cut it out. A Mercedes S-Class BMW 7 Series, sir, you'd have to make twice what you're making right now. And for a BMW Alpina, you have to make 3 times what you're making right now. Let's stop that. You might have a nice little flat over there. That's cool. That's great. Brother, what I'm saying is that London is one of the richest cities in the world. And it's a hop, skip, and a jump because geographically you all are closer to that kind of thing than we are in the States if you live in Dallas versus living in New York. Okay, it's an economic epicenter of America. Use a long damn way away from New York. Over there, you all have a lot more proximity to it. What I'm saying, they're seeing that stuff all the time. They're seeing the Bentleys. They're seeing the Lambos. They're seeing the Ferraris. They're seeing the real nice houses. They're seeing the real nice places to be. That's your competition. Not what you feel comfortable with. That's your competition. Or go grab you a bugger wolf. Now, there you can go get that too. The bottom line is that a woman is going to compare her options to the ceiling, not the floor. And while you are certainly not financially destitute by any stretch of the imagination, but what I'm saying is you're the average guy. Okay, brother, the women don't want to be with the Mr. Average because average is another word for struggling. You ain't, don't twist your damn face up. You ain't taking nobody to the Chanel store to buy a bag. You can't afford it. Okay. No. Okay, so in other words, if she ever wants to get that bag, she ain't gonna get it with you. So what are her options? And you shouldn't want that bag. You got me, your big Marshmallow 11. Brother, that's not a good sales pitch. That's not a winning sales pitch. There's no female who's sitting around dreaming of having that life. No one's sitting around trying to figure out how they can have a lesser life. You sitting on my phone complaining now is a testament that even you don't want a female who brings you a lesser life. Okay, then why doesn't she? That's not outrageous. It's not unreasonable, and she's not being a gold digger. She wants to experience some things before she leaves this damn world.
Right. So here's the thing. Shouldn't women, all right, I mean, I can't believe what I'm hearing here, right? You have a 5 out of 10 woman who wants a 10 out of 10 guy. Now, statistically and mathematically, it's not going to be possible for a 5 out of 10 girl in terms of looks, in terms of her status to get a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 male is going to want a 10 out of 10 woman. But you see, the bottom 80% of women only want the top 20% of men. It means the rest of us are kind of, priced out.
The bottom 80% of men want the top 20% of women, though they usually end up settling for whatever could crawl through the door. What's your point, sir?
My point is that their expectations, all right, they should be hypergamous, which is fair. But their hypergamy is taken to a whole nother level of extreme. And it's like, well, the men are essentially priced out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but here's the issue here, sir. That's not a bad thing either. Because it is a bad thing. Okay, sir, no, it's a bad thing for uncompetitive males. The whole reason that we are where we are as a species today is because 90% of the men, 90% of the males did not get to pass on their genes. We're screwed up today because, unfortunately, an alarming number of sad sack uncompetitive males are now passing their genes on, and their sons are growing to adulthood and senior citizenhood, clogging up the damn gene pool. So, in reality, the females need to be sleeping with fewer men, not more. And including the chicks who are the 5s and the 6s. They need to be sleeping with more valuable men, not less. And that is what forces the males at the bottom. It's like, hey, you either going to step your game up or get ready for a lifetime on the outside. Yeah, you really will be left by yourself. And that's the way it should be. That's not antithetical to how it should be. Look it up. That's the way it should be. An uncompetitive male should not be allowed to reproduce himself. Thank you, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. An unproductive male should not be allowed to replicate himself, which is what a female does when she gives birth. She's replicating that man. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. A fella who has spent his whole life never even trying to achieve his maximum ability, not potential, his maximum ability, went from cradle to the grave and never pushed himself to be more than he was, he shouldn't get an opportunity, not even a chance, to replicate himself. All he's going to do is make unproductive, uncompetitive children, and now the whole society continues to go downhill with the females who are the 5s and 6s you complain about. By the way, did you look at their damn daddies? Wow. You look at their fathers like, well, I see where she got it from. If he had never been allowed to reproduce,
Mr. Jason
that
Black,
wouldn't have occurred.
Can I ask you a question? How many people, what's the percentage of people who make, say, 100,000 plus? Would it be about 20%, 10%?
In the United States now, we're looking closer at 13, 15%. I had the number here, but about 15% now. So that number has kind of gone up.
Right. So how many people do you think make about, say, I don't know, 150,000 or more?
Okay, that's kind of in between those. So usually we go in $100,000 or $500,000 increments. What's your point, sir?
The point is, not everybody is going to be in the 15% by definition. You know, no matter how much you compete, no matter how much you work hard. Yes, you have to work to the best of your ability, but you also got to be realistic as well. There are glass ceilings and there are socio-political conditions.
Okay, sir. Okay, yeah, we got that. That's called mathematics. What's your point?
So the point is, all right, at the end of the day, if you, for some reason, God forbid, aren't able to make it in the top 15%, then you're essentially priced out no matter how hard you work, no matter
not true, sir. No, not true.
Right?
That's not true.
If you don't make it in the 15%,
sir,
you're gonna be,
that's not true. You've already conceded to that previously when you stated that the women want the guy who looks good. It doesn't cost you $100,000 a year to get your body fat percentage down to less than 20%. That doesn't cost 100,000 pounds a year. That doesn't cost 50,000 pounds a year.
My friend.
Okay, now, sir, I can't go round and round with you because, like I said that there, and it's just I can't even say it went in one ear and out the other. It didn't even get one ear. Sir, you've already conceded that that's one of the things that women love. And what I'm saying is, hey, that thing you just mentioned, that doesn't cost money. Guess what? The status thing doesn't cost money either. Money is simply an enhancer and a confirmation of the other two things. But by the way, you don't need money to be physically fit, and you don't really need money to have status either.
Well, basically, your looks are based upon your genetics, no matter how much.
Not true. Not true.
It is 100%
not
based
true.
upon that.
No, sir, that's not. No, sir, that's not true because different people have different preferences.
Not really. I mean, if you look at the choices,
yeah, they do. There are certain types of looks that float certain women's boats, and certain types of looks that don't.
Well, I mean, if you look at the kind of looks that women are going for, they're going for like they're going for someone with a strong jawline. They're going for someone with a chiseled face. They're going for someone with high cheekbones.
Okay, and sir, that isn't a product of genetics, except to somebody making excuses.
So are you telling me?
Wow, okay, I just said it's not a product of genetics, and now is he about to try to argue that is not right? That's the issue.
So if you try and get plastic surgery, hypothetically, if you can afford to.
Sir, with the sole exception of a small percentage of the population, if a male is keeping himself to a 2,000 calorie diet and is exercising on a regular basis, he will not have problems with his jawline. He will not have problems with most of those physical fitness issues that women don't like. He wouldn't have a problem with it. Now, if he's sitting up here picking out on carbohydrates and he doesn't really care about what he eats because he feels like a sad sack and the women should just accept him the way he is, well, then don't be surprised when the women spend a whole lot of time ignoring him and overlooking him.
Have you heard of the concept of like a gym cell? You know what a gym cell is?
Okay. Sir, you can go through all the red pill talking points that you want to. These are all excuses. These are excuses. And sir, these are excuses. Okay, what is preventing a man from exercising 30 minutes a day, sir?
Right. No, nothing.
Okay, and is he going to be able to, if a man is eating a high protein diet and is exercising 30 minutes to an hour every day, is he going to have a double chin, sir?
No.
Now, what percentage of the male population is able to exercise for 30 minutes a day and eat a high protein diet? What percentage can achieve that?
You know, sir, can I just say
Give me the number. What percentage of the male population can do 30 minutes of exercise and can eat a high protein diet?
Anyone can.
So how many males have an excuse now?
90%. Do you know why? The
Nigga,
fundamental
please.
point. All right. Now, look, if someone is about, say, 5'4" or 5'3", or, you know, and they have muscles.
You mean like Kevin Hart?
Right? Or yeah. If they're 5'2", 5'3", and they've got muscles, that will work against them. You know why it will work against them? Because women will think, oh, this man is just trying to overcompensate. He's a manlet.
Okay.
And no woman is going to go out with someone who's 5'4", 5'6". I mean, the height alone will have you cancelled by women in a minute. Women don't want.
Okay, sir, there are a bunch of dudes who are like that, and they ain't never had a problem pulling. I don't care if you're, sir, I don't care if you're 6'7". If you're a big, sloppy, sad sack, devoid of confidence, devoid of anything to admire, she's going to take Mr. 5'4" every day.
I don't think 5'4" is a death sentence.
No, sir. 5'4" is a death sentence if that's all you got.
Even if you have wealth, you'll just go for your
Sir,
wealth.
you don't have to have wealth. You have to have Kevin Hart is showing you all he got wealthy, but that wasn't what came first. Having a personality came first.
Well,
it doesn't matter how tall you are or how much money you have if you're a deadpan to be around. Kevin Hart has personality. He did that that was his compensation. What he didn't do is allow himself to get fat and out of shape so that he would be making excuses.
And
so what he did is he turned his sir, if you don't know who Kevin Hart is, I don't know what to tell you. But what he did was he turned his positives up as high as they could be. And what I'm saying is everything you've just done has gone down the list of articulating every excuse that men can make. But what you're not doing is arguing why women shouldn't have those standards. They should. Now, the only thing you're going to try to say is, well, there's some chicks out there who shouldn't be having that standard because I think that you don't qualify for that. Well, you know what? That's cute to say. But the bottom line is that's not making an argument for yourself.
Well,
even if everything you just said is accurate, that's not making an argument for you.
Right, because, you know, at the end of the day, like I go back to the height thing again. With the height thing, if indeed you are 5'4", I mean, well, Kevin Hart perhaps is just like an exception to the rule. He's not the rule. If you're 5'4", if you're 5'5", it's pretty much over for you unless you have an enormous amount of cash or unless you have like high status. It doesn't matter what kind of personality, what kind of authority you have.
But sir, here's the issue with your argument, sir. You're not speaking from what you know or have experienced.
No, I'm speaking about the issue of...
You're not speaking from what you know, and you're not speaking from what you've experienced. You've never put in the work to be that guy, so you can see if what you're saying is true.
I do the best that I can in life.
Okay, and sir, I want you to understand, if my daughter were talking to you and you told her, well, baby, this is the best I can do. Of course, what father would not tell his daughter, baby, if she's worth a damn, keep looking, you ain't found the one yet.
So what would she be looking for?
A man who brings her results, not excuses.
I don't bring excuses.
You just gave me excuses just now. This is the best I can do, but your best is not competitive.
Well, my best is, to move above 52,000.
Okay, well, sir, to move above 52,000 pounds a year.
Yeah, to move above that.
Okay, sir, and think about that for just a few moments. You are broadcasting to the women of Britain that your goal is to be a 52,000 pound nigga.
No.
That was he just said that.
Well, basically, I'm saying above, to move above it, like
60, okay, sir, 60,000 pounds in the UK. So just understand what you're telling the women of the UK is that you want them to commit to a 60,000 pound dude. You want her to start mapping out the remainder of her days based on your 60,000 pound salary. And what she's going to start doing is adding up, okay, where am I going to live? What am I going to live in? What am I going to be able to buy? What am I going to drive? Because I'm going to be stuck with this for the rest of my life. Yeah, when she starts making that calculation, just understand if she has contact with anybody making 100,000 pounds, she's going to start questioning if you are the best she can do. Because you just told her that that's the best you can do. Okay, fine. That's only binding on you. The real question is, are you the best she can do? Okay, but sir, here's the problem. You talking about what you want. You ain't talking about what you've done. What you've done is 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's
okay,
so far.
And that's okay. Well, sir, that's all you get.
No, I want to go. I want to get promoted.
Okay, sir, we don't count what you want to do. Nobody's counting what you want to do. Do you understand that? You don't get.
Yeah, but that's why I'm currently.
I'm in that job right now. And you don't get credit for what you aspire to. You get credit for what you've done.
Correct. All right. So,
and by the way, that's just financially. What about the other aspects? Okay, but sir, that's just financially. What about the other aspects? How competitive are you at the other things that don't require money?
Like you mean in sports? Football?
Nigga, you ain't stupid. We talked about looks. We talked about fitness. We talked about status. How competitive are you relative to the rest of the male population in Britain? How competitive are you against them? Now, those things don't even cost money. How competitive are you?
In terms of looks, I'm not competitive.
Okay, strike one.
In terms of height, I'm 5'11". So
okay, you talking about height. I didn't say nothing about height, sir. When we say looks, we're also talking about physical fitness as well. How about that one?
Physical fitness, I can do a lot more work.
Okay, strike two.
60. Due to, yeah, so basically, so that's strike two.
Okay, and then status, let's talk about our social accomplishments. How about that one?
I have friends.
Okay, strike three, nigga.
Okay. 3 strikes and I'm out.
Okay. And he wants the women to submit to what he just said. Now, none of those things cost $1. And by the way, no man wants to be around a fella here whose life is a repeat of strikeouts, bro. That's the issue. That's a repeat of strikeouts. And just understand that's what you're trying to sell to the women. And oh, the problem is with them. Dude, you ain't got no standing to say what the problem with them is on account of the fact that you haven't made them an enticing offer. You've brought them the average. And then you're like, oh, they're not, even the average females don't want to be around average. Well, I'll be damned. Imagine that. Even an average female doesn't want to be with an average dude. Yeah, just like a single parent doesn't want to be with another single parent. They want to be with somebody with no kids. Yes, people always want the best. And you trying to rag them about, well, you don't qualify for that. Okay, you have no standing to be able to, it's not like you're making them a more enticing offer.
Right. So basically, essentially what you're saying to me, if I get this right, sir, is that because I'm making 52,000 and because I'm trying my best to get up to 60 and 70,000, number one, and because I have friends and because, I haven't been going to the gym the way I should be going. All right. I've completely struck out. So
you have communicated to the female population the quality of male that you are. And now you see what your sexual marketplace value is because you've done nothing to increase it.
Right.
Now, if you would devote the energy that you're trying to do right now to all these excuses and trying to articulate all this and rationalize all this and try to philosophize it, if you would commit this much physical effort at 24-hour fitness tomorrow morning, you would have a whole different life in 6 months. By the time the weather gets cold, if you would dedicate this much effort as you're doing right now, arguing a dead point, you wouldn't have these problems in 6 months from now.
But I've done all of those things before.
Clearly, you're not very good at holding it.
Yeah, but basically...
Wow, but, okay.
Can I just say, please, brother?
No. Go to the gym. Get some gumption. Get some ambition. Y'all heard that right there. It's just, no, nigga. Some of y'all need to talk to your fathers here. It's just like, dude, I just told you, I was trying to be as, and by the way, that phone call was not for him. For some of the other folks in the chat room trying to tell me how to run my program, that phone call was not for him. He represents the red pill, the dead pill, the black pill. He represents all of them. And there are thousands of you listening to me right now. Thousands listen to me. But do you know about how many of you are the males that he represents? And I'm talking to all of you, all that excuse making you're trying to do. I just shut them all down. Women want something. You should want something too. Okay, you want something. Then the two of you need to come to the table with what you bring. You become the table, and she brings what she brings to the table. You looking at fellas who became the table and complaining that you ain't getting what they're getting. I just sat here as politely and diplomatically as I could and articulated, hey, fella, by the way, you ain't putting in the yard time like you need to. You're complaining about men's looks. I ain't talking about jawline, dude. I'm talking about waistline. I'm not talking about jawline. I'm talking about waistline. There is no physical metric where you meeting the grade. But you're complaining about the other guys who can get by on physical metrics alone. Okay, that's because you ain't got none. Work on that. There's nothing in your way except you're unmotivated. The bottom line is you're losing because you want women to accept you the way you are. And even the bummiest, nastiest chick in America does not think that she needs to be driving an 83 Cutlass. She thinks she needs to be driving a 2024 Bentley Continental. Has nothing to do with what she rates for. That's what she's motivated for. That's what she desires. And you trying to figure out how to get something for nothing. You can be an overweight dude if you got an overweight bank account.
And deal with it, nigga.
You ain't got that. You can be Suge Knight, but Suge Knight was the man. Suge Knight was big as a linebacker, but I'll be damned, so was his bank account. So you can be Biggie Smalls if you got a Biggie bank account too. And the personality to match, because they didn't just bring big money. Christopher Wallace, Notorious B.I.G., he had a personality. He knew he was running around with Lil' Kim before he got put on. He had a personality. Remember he said, I'm fat, black, and ugly. I'm dark, black, and ugly. He was like, okay, I'm not the biggest dude about looks, but I bring the rest of this. Yeah, in the chat, Rick Ross. We can go down to, well, the rapper Rick Ross, not the real Rick Ross. No, okay. That's no excuse, dude. So what I'm saying is that he wants to sit up here and be losing on all damn metrics. He wants to be losing on every metric. These hoes is gold diggers. No, they just don't want something for nothing. They just don't want to go for the something for nothing deal. And then I finally broke him down. Hey, bro, the areas where you losing, they don't cost anything. The areas where you're losing don't cost anything. Not Big Pun. Big Pun was a little bit too damn far. If you make it to Big Pun territory, it's a wrap. So no. Not Big Pun. Not Big Pun. He can be entertaining. That's about it. So no, not Big Pun. Suge Knight is about to cut off. You better not go too far in that direction. But what I'm saying is, dude, talking about the fella with the square jawline. Well, bruh, I mean, if you grabbing all the burgers and donuts and ain't spent no yard time whatsoever, yeah, if you got a head shaped like a milk dud, I mean, I'll be damned. I'm looking at this diet over here. Come on now. And the female's supposed to just take whatever the hell you slop off the plate at them. Now that's what they supposed to go for. So that they can enjoy your wonderful person. They're just all gold diggers. No, bruh, you ain't competitive. And it's not what it should be. I'm not doing what I should be doing. Okay, well, why don't you get yourself straight first? And then once you got yourself together, and then tell me how bad these females treating you then. Oh, Prince, yeah, the singer Prince, little short dude. You saw what happened. Short, okay, talent, personality. That talent was what gave him status. Prince's talent is what gave him status, not his height. By the way, Michael Joseph Jackson wasn't no tall dude neither. So these fellas here, take a look at that. Physically fit, got a personality, they have a talent that other people admire, that gives them the status, and the money was a side effect to all those damn things. What do you know? Females were a given at that point. Didn't even know if them fellas were heterosexual, and the females were still chasing. This fella sitting up here making excuses. And by the way, one more thing, dude, how a man does one thing is how a man does everything. You sitting on my damn phone, every time you call me up, you got damn excuses. You got damn excuses every time you call me up. So I know that's what you giving females in the real world. They coming to you. A man's supposed to have solutions. They coming to you and you telling them about why it's wrong. You should not be expecting solutions from me. That's putting too much. I don't have the same solutions as all those other men. Okay, dude, you're telling her not to bet on you. Your job is to show her, hey, baby, I'm the man with the plan. I'm the man with the plan. And I ain't giving you my aspirations. I'm throwing results in front of you. I'm the man with the plan. There's females in here listening to me right now. They getting warm and sensual just hearing me say that. Because, by the way, I sound like I'm serious when I say it. Because I am. Because a woman can hear when you for real or whether you trying to fake your way and sound like somebody else. Dude, your job is to look at where you lacking and to put that together. Let me go ahead and explain something to y'all right now. I mean, y'all know about this. Like 20 years ago, I damaged my elbow. I was doing weights 20 years ago, and that was how I developed tennis elbow. It was actually from an injury, and I never rested it. I never went to a doctor. I never did anything. I felt my arm snap. I felt that snap in my elbow, and I just kept working out, and I'm just hearing it snap the whole damn time I'm doing it. And it used to be a whole lot worse than it is now because I could feel it all the time. But I left it like it was. Okay. Technically speaking, it's probably going to be a permanent injury now because, it's been so many decades and you don't want to go cutting on, your arms like that. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Y'all have heard me up in here when I went to go grab my weights. It is what it is. I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but it's like, oh, by the way, I'm buying more weight. Still doing that. I got issues with my chromium. You can go look up the chromium, by the way. Now that's getting real deep off in the woods. I told y'all about that. I got issues with the chromium. So that affects my shoulders. My shoulders are the thing I work the most. That's probably how I injured it. That's probably how I messed it up. But I still work my chromium as much as I possibly can. Still do that. Still do it. To this day. I can make a ton of damn excuses. And by the way, those are not my only injuries. Those are not the only ones. Those aren't my only ones. But by the way, I ain't let it stop me. I ain't let it stop me. And you know what? People, not just women, people respect that. When you can sit there and tell them about that. Yeah, rotator cuff has been a little issue. I haven't had quite the issues with rotator cuff, especially considering my age and how much wear and tear I've had. So I don't have quite the issues with rotator cuff, but I also accept that one day that's going to happen. I mean, look, if you keep working that shoulder enough, eventually, you're going to run out. Eventually, the music is going to run out. You're going to be left without a chair when the music stops. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not making mistakes. I'm not making excuses. Okay, that's what you got to deal with. That's what's been handed to you. People want to know, okay, so that's it? We done? You're done. You're through. Okay, so the person sitting in front of us, this is the best we can expect? This is it. You're done. You're done. That's it? Okay, so if you show people through your actions, not your words, that, hey, this is it. This is it. Then don't be surprised if you show them that this is the best you can do if they don't want to bet their lives on it. In the chat room, Levels of Love, like I say, mine does that too. I still do German push-ups. I still do the German push-ups and everything. I still do that. I didn't say it's easy, but I still do that. It helps if you warm it up and try to stretch it out. It does help if you. There's exercises we're supposed to do. That's another thing I haven't done quite those I'm supposed to do. But the exercise where you like take the rolling pin or the little rubber ball and you try to roll the ligament out. You know, that can help to a degree. It goes south when you start doing your tricep exercises, particularly head crushers. I love head crushers, but it goes south when you start doing that because that's where it starts pinching it. That's what really pinches it. I heard it doing bicep exercises, but it hurts the most when I do tricep overhead exercises, but I still do it. But Jason, how do you do it? Hell, I sit there watching Ronnie Coleman, Louisiana, stand up. Louisiana, stand up. I watch Ronnie Coleman. Lightweight. Lightweight, lightweight. Yeah, buddy. So I sit there and watch Ronnie. Now, granted, Ronnie is a lot older now, but I'll be watching him from when he was in his prime. It's like, hey, ain't no excuses. The Rock is doing workouts, quoting Ronnie Coleman now, lightweight. Okay, it is what it is. What I'm saying is nobody's going to give me credit for excuses. C.T. Fletcher, that man had a damn heart transplant. Nobody's going to give you, you're a man. If you're a man, ain't nobody giving you no excuses. They need results from you, man. And if you're going to tell people, I can't get results, well, guess what? They're not going to follow you. Okay. They're not going to follow you. That's just the long and short of it. No, sir. In Atlanta, y'all got a manhood problem in Atlanta. That's a manhood issue in Atlanta. Let me get caller from area code 727. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Delvon. I'm calling from Tacoma, Washington. I just moved here from Florida. But I want to comment about the brother in San Francisco because my mom was, when she had dementia before she died, 2 years ago, she was talking about she wanted to get married and used to dress up and get married, but nobody showed up. So she still had the dream of getting married, at 70 years old. So basically that's what, you realize that your mother's a woman through and through, no matter what. So it kind of hit home when he was describing about his mother and how, all these older women are coming out now with these dreams of having a husband and finding Prince Charming and, what they think they're going to do with it. And, my mom died and didn't find nobody. So, she just always had this dream guy that was going to come through. So it seems like that's where a lot of women are headed. And
yeah, I mean, it's survival sex. That is the whole crux of tonight's program. What you just described, that is survival sex. Because even if she did find, quote unquote, the dream guy, that's not really what she wants. What she wants is to be extricated. Look it up. She wants to be rescued from her situation, even though she was no longer a prime candidate to be rescued. She still wanted it. So even if she got with that guy, it would still just be survival sex. That's a hell of a spot to be in. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, it is. Yeah, like you said, it's a hell of a spot to be in, but it just rings home for me because I'm starting to see it as a writing on the wall, because I thought my mom she just had dementia, but she always remembered she was supposed to, Prince Charming, she would dress up in a wedding dress and everything and sit there at the table and wait for this guy to come through. And I would just have to let her live out her fantasy. I mean, eventually she'll go to bed, but, it was just interesting her whole life. That's what it was. She was married. My parents divorced after 40 years. And my dad wanted her back, but she didn't want to come back.
Thank you. I was about to say, who filed the divorce? Okay, if your dad wanted her back, maybe
my father filed.
Maybe she was getting so far gone. I'm not sure what the situation there was, but what I will tell you is, you make a very good point there. It's just, she's still a woman. Yeah, and your relationship to your mother is not your mother's relationship to the world of men. How she relates to you is not the way she relates to other men. You are over here in the category there is you, her son, and then there's every other man on the planet.
Yep.
Every other man on the planet. You over here in a box by yourself. And everybody else is literally on the outside. And that's just, with the possible exception of her father. And that's it. And once you recognize that, it's like, you better be ready for that one, because you might hear and see some things you ain't ready for.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and in the chat room, the phone lines are closed right now, but Juno in the chat room, here's the issue here. Atlanta, we just got to keep it a $103. We got to keep it a $103 in Atlanta. I just got to tell the truth. Every nigga in Atlanta is trying to figure out how to become Derek Jackson.
And deal with it, nigga.
I said it. Let's just stop that. You go take one trip to Lenox Mall. Let's just stop the bull jive. Go take one trip to Lenox Mall. Every nigga in Atlanta is trying to figure out how to become Derek Jackson. So let's just stop the bull crap. I've been to Atlanta summers and winters. I've been early in the morning. I've been late at night. I've been on a regular weekday. I've been there on New Year's night. I showed y'all the damn video from a couple of years ago. I ain't telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you what I can show you. Let's just call it for what it is. Every nigga in Atlanta, every dude in Atlanta is trying to figure out how he can become Derek Jackson. Now, let's just stop playing about it. And what I'm saying is, okay, then don't get mad when the females eventually get hip to the game and get wise to it, and you can't move quite that way. So just don't get surprised when the females they finally learn, they finally get up to speed, and they stop letting them move the way they was moving. But that is Atlanta. That is the men in Atlanta. All of them are trying to live out their voluptuary fantasy. One trip to Lenox Mall. I challenge any of you to go to Lenox Mall, turn on your cell phone camera, and just walk through the mall and record the sights and the sounds of what you see. Not just the females, but the males. Record the sights and the sounds you see, because I have. And it is what it is. So let's just stop pretending it's something it ain't. I'm telling y'all right now, the females are for the taking in Atlanta. It's for the taking. If you see a broad in Atlanta and you can't pull, something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. Sir, just give it a wrap, bruh. All the fellas in Atlanta are trying to figure out how to replicate Derek Jackson. The females are hip to it, so now it's hard. If a fella is straight and on the square and isn't giving off that energy, it goes a lot easier. So the reason why there's a communication breakdown, because everybody's trying to figure out how to get their Derek Jackson on. Everybody's trying to figure out how to stack as many females as they can. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get a fancy car so they can have another place on the other side of town and stack up some hoes. And what I'm saying is, you can move like that, but just understand the chicks are ready for it. They ready for it and they're looking for it. That has become the persona of the fellas in Atlanta. Shout out Lead Attorney. Lead Attorney will tell you that one. You ain't gonna ask me. You want to talk about folks in your city? Lead Attorney, brother, folks all over the place. Lead Attorney will tell you that one. So everybody's lying except you? Everybody's wrong. Even the fellas in Atlanta, they're all wrong except you. No, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's the way they moving in Atlanta. And what I'm saying is, okay, but just understand you've transformed the environment. And so what it ends up doing is being like Miami. It becomes a hookup spot. Atlanta has become a hookup spot. So the females are on guard because they understand, oh, hell, I can sit up here and get laid on top of. And it makes them a lot more calculating and a lot more skeptical. That's why, for example, I go there and whatnot, and they can tell I'm from Louisiana. I get a different reception because, like, okay, he's not one of them. I wear my Louisiana stuff on my sleeve. It's right there for everybody to see, so they can immediately see, oh, you're not from here. You're not from here. So that's the first thing I do with chicks in Atlanta. First thing I let them know is, yeah, I'm not an Atlanta dude. I'm not from here. Now, that's something that you can't do if you're a guy in Atlanta. By the way, I can tell your chick in Atlanta, oh, I'm not one of these Atlanta dudes. Oh, you're not? Okay. So all I can say, Juno, dude, if I run your city better than you do, there must be something to it. If I run it better than you, if I'm having a better experience on your streets than you are, you might want to sit back and soak up the game. I'm not having the same experience you are. Not at all. Now, I'm just telling you why that stuff is failing. All of y'all want to sit up here and do an imitation of Migos and stuff. It's like, okay, you can do that, but just understand the chicks ain't really responding to that the way you all think. They want to see something different. They want to see something different. So all these fellas want to sit up here and go try to buy some car they can't really afford or whatever the case might be. And then it's, And the women in Atlanta, everybody's looking for that now. All the females in Atlanta are looking for that. They're looking for the fellas who are trying to look like they trying to get a record deal. They're looking for the fellas who are trying to sit up here and stack a bunch of chicks. And don't get me wrong, you can do that, but you got to move different. You got to move different. So these fellas sit up here and tip their damn hands and then can't figure out, ooh, the female, they moving funny over here. They're not moving funny. They're moving different. And they don't really want to. It's the reverse of New York City. Cats in Atlanta, the reason why y'all are having a hard time now is because right now it's the reverse of New York City. In New York City, the females can't get the men to be interested because the men of New York City are turned off by the females of New York City. That's the problem. The men in New York City don't want to fool with the women of New York City. Well, guess what? In Atlanta, the women of Atlanta don't really want to fool with the men of Atlanta. I said it.
And deal with it, nigga.
I mean, really, once they know you a local, and she gets real defensive. So in reality, they give preferential treatment to out-of-towners. It's like, yeah, because we ain't really doing that. We're not really doing that. So it's a whole different thing. They're looking for something different now. The women of Atlanta ain't really checking for the men because they know what the men are on. The men of New York are not really checking for the women of New York because they know what they own. And guess what? I do well in both of those places, by the way. The women of New York, it's like, by the way, I don't know what it is. I guess they treat it different when they hear that Southern accent. If I talk to a chick from New York, I know turn the Southern accent on because they love that. Ain't that right, Cardi B? And in Atlanta, you have a Southern accent. I'm not from here. I'm not from here. Juno, take the night off, dude. You're sounding silly now. Take the night off. Your feelings are hurt. Okay, understand, but take the night off, bro. You're sounding silly now. Everybody, we're not gonna have a situation where everybody's lying except you. So if you're convinced that you're just a genius about this, then you shouldn't have any complaints. So I explained to you what it is. Take the night off. Take the night off. Let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. It's time for the old man hour.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got my man Prince out of Richmond on. What's on your mind, brother?
Brother Jason, come on, man. This guy got to be kidding. Atlanta, man, they love you down there. Man, my homeboy, his nieces came down here, man. Wonderful, both of them. just fun, good people. My other guy, his niece come down, and I go through Atlanta all the time. What is the problem? I don't understand what's the problem with the guys trying to find women in Atlanta. Is it the way they're approaching them or what?
No, I mean, look, the game has changed. You have a city that has transformed radically in the last 20 years. The culture has changed. Atlanta is a major mega power now, period. It is a major mega power, and we're used to that environment transforming the sociology of people in places like New York and Los Angeles. And what I'm telling you is this is spread now. New York, Los Angeles, DC, Miami, Houston. The people have had to adjust. Now, the culture in Houston is different than the culture in Atlanta, which is different from the culture in Miami. But what you're seeing is a paradigm shift in the way people carry themselves. So Atlanta has gotten a reputation and an air of money moving around. People got to be hip. You know, the other thing is Atlanta is competitive socially. So what I'm saying is that, for example, you can have money in Beverly Hills and nobody know who you are. That don't work in Atlanta. That don't work in Atlanta. People have to know you. If you're a nobody, your money don't mean nothing.
Exactly. And the women are more. Could you say that some of them are more upscale now? You know, back when I used to go there through the 90s, there was a lot of Southern girls, cool. But I'm saying, they developing a lot of things. They improved a lot of the freeways. I noticed that because they were doing back in like 92, 93, man, they just literally just blocked downtown with a freeway. They busted up right over there by the hood. I'm like, man, they just done stopped everything.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you've got Lamborghini dealerships and Bentley dealerships and Ferrari dealerships and you're not in New York, I'm telling you, we ain't in Kansas anymore. Don't tell me you have a city that has all those amenities and you want a woman who's going to be window shopping. No, this is affecting her. She's seeing that. In Chicago, for example, that damn dealership where they got the Ferrari one, the Ferrari Lamborghini dealership down there, that's a very prominent street downtown in Chicago. Everybody goes by there. Everybody goes by there. So what I'm saying is I guarantee if you live in Chicago, your people done seen that place, your woman's done seen that place. That's not Instagram. She knows it's a real thing. And what I'm saying is that's going to change her. That's going to change her. Period.
Now, Jason knows what's going on down here. I don't know how you know, unless you've been coming down here, because Bel Air is like, that's all around Rice and, of course, River Oaks. We rode through River Oaks. That's where the money at. But Bel Air is like a just a little bit lighter version of River Oaks.
For now. Because here's the real thing about it is you're looking for area. Look, you're looking for these things. Okay, for those of you who don't understand how construction and real estate development works, I'm not even going to talk about Lennar and the biggest home builders, Horton and them. I'm not going to talk about them. You're looking to sell a house for as much as you can. If you're a developer and you're going to build a subdivision, so let's just say, for example, you and me, Prince, we're going to build a subdivision out there in Bel Air. First thing we're looking for is to get the biggest return on our investment that we can. If we're going to go to a bank and go take out a loan for $10-20 million, and we're going to go build 100 houses or 200 houses, so what are we going to wind up having to do here? We're going to have to go buy this land, clear it. We're going to have to pull a gang of permits. That's expensive, pulling permits on 200 houses. We've got to pass a bunch of inspections, stuff like that. I'm saying this is a huge investment you're going to be making here. Yeah. Well, ideally, we're going to want to get the highest return on our investment we can. So even to the point of in this era of interest rates, it's worth it for us to hold somebody off for 2 weeks. We might, because if the market goes up, we might be able to get a higher interest rate than we would have 14 days ago. That's been going on since the pandemic started. Right. So interest rates moving, prices moving, what the banks want to charge moving. If we hold a property back for a couple of weeks, that can make all the difference between making an extra $500 to $1,000.
Yes.
That can make all the difference. And that's something that's actively in play now. So what I'm saying is, okay, so we built these things. We ain't trying to build the cheapest houses we can.
No.
We ain't trying to build the cheapest. So what I'm saying is that we're going to take a look at, we're trying to gauge how much the market will bear. And if we do our research and analysis, they build out Sugarland, they building out Bel Air. I'm looking at the houses that are there, and I'm trying to see, can we get those margins up by 30%? Can I get a 30% margin?
And and what they're doing, Jason, I feel like they're expanding Bel Air because they're taking old houses that are small, but they got big lots, and they putting humongous homes right there on 610, between 610 and 59, right over there. All around.
No. Look, every developer is trying to figure out how to spend $250,000 building a house and to sell it for $1 million.
That's exactly
everybody trying to figure out how to do that. And if this is where development is going, if this is where the money is moving, then all you really start doing is speculating, okay, let me provide them with an even nicer place. Let me show y'all where y'all can have the nicest house in Bel Air and fill that desire. Next thing you know, here it goes. So if the money starts moving that direction, development starts moving that direction, then they're going to start saying, okay, how high can we go? In other words, replicating Buckhead, Plano, we can go down the list.
Because what they've done, you know the spot. Sugarland, I'm about 7 minutes from Sugarland. I don't live in Old Richmond. It's just like a incorporated part. I'm 2 minutes from Katy. I'm telling you, in Sugarland, man, they have Old Sugarland by the Old Imperial Sugar, and that's the Old Sugarland. You mentioned one time before. Yeah, so it's kind of a little odd over there. But that's over there. It's Old Sugarland, but you can't be deceived because that's where Shaq and all of them got them big homes right on the other side of the little barrier. You understand? But then they got over here new territory in these areas. Let me tell you what they're doing. About 3 miles from me, these Indian people done bought up a whole section of a subdivision. All right, a whole section. They literally painted all the houses white so people wouldn't want to buy them. If you go over there to try to buy a house, the realtor is an Indian guy. And I literally, when I go to HEB, they building a big, what do you call this thing? On 99 here, they building a big Costco right there. These Indians are flooded out here. They moved out the southwest side because they had their own big apartments over there. So when they come here, they got a place where they can go and they can be amongst each other. Well, they moving all out here. And they flooding the area. And here's the thing, Jason, this is what concerns me. This is no joke because Texas, our area was good because the prices would be lower, the interest rates were lower, property tax has always been high. Well, guess what? The more you pay for a house, the more property tax you got to pay.
Right. And what Prince is talking about, everybody, is that when they build houses near you, and I talked about this in my first documentary, 7 a.m., when they build houses near you, that affects your property value too.
Yes.
Because if you're within a quarter of a mile of $500,000 houses, that's going to affect your property taxes because your property value is going up whether you like it or not. Even if you're not in the market to sell, yours is going to go up simply as a consequence. Hey, there's multi-million-dollar development happening within a quarter of a mile of you. That obviously is going to make your area more geographically desirable.
But Jason, let me tell you, like you said, man, but you're talking about these houses eating up to $500,000. You understand? Okay, what if you sell it? Where you gonna go? Ain't nothing you can do with a house but stay in it. What kind of investment is a house? This is a place you live in. Now I paid, under $200,000 for my house. I got it back in the day, back in 2005. Right? Base price $163, got some upgrades. Ain't nothing going for nothing low out here now.
No, you can't. You will not find another house like yours today for anything comparable price. You're not going to do it. So there's a reason most of you all are stuck with your houses now because if you sold, where you going to go? So in other words, that's what happens when you have a real estate market expand so radically and so quickly over a short period of time. It hasn't even allowed you to adjust. We watched the exact same thing happen down in Miami. Miami used to be a little sleepy place 20 years ago. It was very affordable, bunch of senior citizens, all these young folk coming in, billions of dollars of investment and whatnot. Now that's gone. And this is the story across America. That's why I told you all 550 cities now where the median home price is $1 million. 550. Think about that. You only got 50 states.
Jason, if I sold my house and put $300,000-$400,000 down on another house, I'd still be paying for a house smaller than mine and still have to pay another $300,000-$400,000. I didn't see it going like this, bro. We was in Texas, Hick Town, man. Come on now. Downtown they not playing downtown Houston. Now, Jason, I want to ask you, well, one, I want to say to our brother Jay, I had never heard him call. He shocked me. I thought he was trolling. I didn't really think he was serious.
No, he's for real. I don't know if he thinks he's serious. So I'm just like,
okay.
I just say he's for real. I don't know. He thinks he's serious though, but I'm like, trust me, you ain't serious.
Brother Jay, you need to come to the Patreon and sign up, my brother, because he talked about that word you mentioned tonight, potential. Jason covered that already. He already covered that potential versus ability. Jason doesn't he doesn't miss anything. This is why you can't afford not to listen to what this man's saying, because I've heard men talk with heck of knowledge. I've heard preachers. I know people in my neighborhood, but very few of them was on code, Jason. The respect I have for you, that you what Barry White say, practice what you preach. This is what I like about it, because when you're in the game and you say staying alive and you're active participant, you can do things. Now, Jason, I want to ask you this because I'm kind of confused. One, I had to get to her, but I'm gonna just say it in general. Tony Braxton, Halle Berry, Vivica A. Fox. These women are not necessarily broke women. Are they having survival sex? What is this outcry that they're doing? How do you characterize that? What category do you put them into? Is they desperate for survival sex, or what attention, or what's going on with them?
I mean, all the above in that regard, because for them, they're trying to remain relevant, but they've gotten older. And in Vivica's case, Vivica's turning 60.
I was surprised.
All of these pretentious attitudes she had about herself, she's realized that she can't make good on any of them. So what you're seeing is a female who is suffering from diva and debutante syndrome. Vivica Fox is the definition of debutante syndrome.
You nailed it.
Now she's looking, every man of any value is behind her, not in front of her. So she's hoping for some survival sex. Now, the only problem is, as I said, women don't want a man, they want a winner. And who is the winner who's going to compete for a 60-year-old who's 20 years past 50 Cent? Who's the winner who's going to compete for that? I'm just talking about math now. So this isn't about can she get a man. Every female in here listening to me can, quote, get a man. Yeah, the question is, can you get a winner?
She want a high caliber man. All of them they don't want these guys thinking they accept the application from everybody. They want a high caliber man like they used to could pull.
Exactly. And so the other issue becomes, and this goes for every female listening to me, if people know your name and don't know your man's name, you downgraded. Even the females in here, if you are more well known on social media, YouTube, or anything else, and your man is irrelevant, nobody knows who it is, you took a downgrade. You are more prominent. You have more status than your man does. She feels some kind of way about that. And the only way you can hold her is if she's just stuck in a bind and she just needs you. Vivica wants a fella who, when you say his name, y'all all know who he is. So she can say, see, y'all didn't think I could pull nothing like that. She wants a fella that she can say that about. And what I'm saying is that train has left the station.
Okay. Not Jason.
I mean, unless Morgan Freeman go ahead and, unless Morgan Freeman go ahead and give a spin on that roulette wheel, that's going to be about it.
That's it. Now, Jason, you brought up an interesting point. I love your terminology. I hope you do a broadcast. I want to be there. How can a young man tell when a woman is looking for a sponsor but not a leader.
The first thing I need fellas to understand here, and I understand it's a daunting goal. This is why you got to do a significant amount of self-damn work. If you haven't boosted yourself, it's not going to help because you don't have anything to leverage with, and you haven't gone through the work of learning how to really move. You're right. In your little bubble. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get knocked around. You don't want to suffer any discomfort. You don't want to be rejected. Okay, so you don't want to grow and evolve so that you can start recognizing whether or not a chick really digs you or not. Because what I'm saying is that fellas who women don't really care about, they're used to being, I want to say being looked at dismissively. Hell, they're used to being just ignored. And if you're a guy who actually gets yourself together, women look at you differently. I didn't say talk to you differently. They look at you differently.
Yes, they do.
You get different looks. And you will, that's a survival mechanism, is us recognizing how people are looking at us. You're going to immediately notice, by the way, they're looking at me differently. Well, what do you mean? It's different. What do they do? It's not the same. It's like they were curious. Looking mean? No, it's like they were curious. Yes. Look funny or something? No, it's when something is interesting, people are looking at it in a different way than if they're dismissive. It's like, they're hoping you don't make eye contact with them. You're used to their eyes darting around because they don't want to take eye contact. Fellas who ain't on top of their game, they're used to being dismissed and they're used to eye contact avoiding them. If you get yourself together, you notice that from the beginning. So what I'm saying is that interest is supposed to start with you.
Yes.
If interest has to start with your income, you've already lost. If interest has to start with what you can, quote, give her, you've already lost. Interest is supposed to begin with you. With you at a base level. Are you an interesting person? And what I'm saying is, Jay called in tonight, and that was a textbook example of how to fail at that. But primarily because even when you asked him, what are you going to do? He's like, I ain't putting in no work, and I ain't trying to put in no work. Okay, well, what you've gotten is what you're going to get.
You going to shame women? He think he's going to, he's talking too much. We couldn't have him in the room, Jason. He'd be running the women. He'd have them aggravated.
Oh, no, nigga, I would know. If I saw him come in the damn room, I'd either lock the door or push his ass out. No, you can't stay. You cannot stay. I don't want no female thinking we together. You can't stay. Because here's the issue, Prince. The issue is fellas sit up here and be around their mamas for too damn long, and their mamas tolerated that. And because mom accepted you no matter what you were, now you out here in the real damn world trying to get females who ain't your mama to respond the way your mama does. That's the problem. And I'm sitting here telling him, hey, dude, this ain't your mama. These females are not your mom. And you can't put the demands on them that you make on your mom. You can't do that. And he's sitting up here trying to whine, and they need to accept this. This was wrong with the females, and this, and okay, are you competitive to that? No, not really here. But they need to change. Okay, that's what your mama would tell you. Your mama is going to tell you, use is nice, and use is pretty, and use is lovable. That's your mama. That's not these females. That's not them. And it's going to be a hard pill for you to swallow, especially if you're arrogant and egotistical, which is what mama's boys are, and you're telling yourself there's nothing wrong with you. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a little off on some of these, but the women need to get it together. Okay, you're thinking about yourself. No, you are refusing to accept that, by the way, hey, dude, it's deficient. You ain't together. It's not together. And you don't want to hear that. You want to hear about what you gonna get, as opposed to, you know what, I got a lot of work ahead of me. And you don't want to hear that you're deficient. You don't want to hear that part. You don't want to hear, hey, you know, you got a lot of work to do. I ain't trying to do it. Y'all need to get to that. But I understand I got some work to do, but I'm on my way. It's like, okay, well, call us back when you get there. Well, yeah, but in the meantime, you know, as I told him that, when I said that right there to him, hey, dude, you see where so you're not meeting any of the requirements? Nope. Okay, think you need to work on that? Okay, but you see what the issue, what I'm saying is, and that right there is what the females don't like. That right there.
And you know, down south, he come around here, we gonna take him behind the tool shed. He get to talking to my daughter and talking all that game, and trying to shame or she's about money. What you want? I want some broke nigga run around here that's going to take my legacy all the way down, I'm giving my daughter to you to do what? To complain? You know, my daughter graduated a year early. I had to be prepared years before, because what if I wasn't prepared for her to go to college? I'm not trying to help her get out of college and old college debt. I'm not trying to have my niece. You know, that was put on me. We have to almost be prepared for things. Man, people don't understand. Black men hold it down for the Black community. Jason, I already know you do. I already know, because I've seen the men I grew up with. Not these kind of dudes. I don't know what they're about, but we've made a lot of sacrifices helping the people of our families and our communities. And a lot of times they don't give us the gratitude, but that's cool. That's cool. My sister ain't never said, my sister or my niece dad ain't never said, thank you. Not one thank you, man. You know, so that's why I say we do it, because we're trying to move forward. We can't deal with whiny babies. Now, Jason, I want to ask you. Well, I want to say this here, because the young man said something earlier. If a woman, how do you know if a woman into you? Well, if she lights up when you walk in the room, if she's attentive, watch her behavior. She can't fake it for long. Now, some women can fake it longer than others.
Look, there are other things, you know. For example, if you're an interesting man, women approach you. They want to talk to you, especially if they've talked to you once already. They definitely want to talk to you again. He's not used to that kind of reception. If you're interesting, the woman is asking questions about you. Yes. They're not used to that kind of reception. You know, they're not used to the nonverbal cues, facial expressions. They're not used to any of that. And that's what I'm saying is, okay, bruh, let's go. Why don't we know this is the way they're supposed to respond. What I'm saying is, some of us ain't having that problem getting that response. What's your problem? And I'm like, okay, well, dude, she's looking at all the other men, and what she's doing is gauging you against them. And you want to talk about, well, these chicks is throwed off. So what you're really trying to say is, well, the women should accept, even if I'm low value, the women should still accept me because, well, aren't they low value too? And what I'm saying is, that's not a winning argument, bruh. That's not tell me how who exactly do you think that statement gives you leverage with? Who do you think you're gaining leverage with when you say that?
What kind of woman you want? You want a woman that'll agree to something like that? Do you know what you're getting? Man.
He's hoping that he's getting the female who is gonna, when he starts whining, she's just gonna let the matter go. And that he will only be required to produce as much as he wants to do. Because understand, y'all knows I heard him, once he said that this is the best I can do, y'all knows I started shutting it down after that. I'm like, let that be your epitaph. Well, this is the best I could do. I'm doing the best I can. Okay. And just remember, you're not the only man living in Britain. So that's the best you can do. Okay. She's telling herself, okay, this is the best he can do. Is he the best I can do? Well, don't be surprised if she's like, yeah, I think I can do better.
Jason, I'm really triggered by Ebony K. Williams. What is this woman's goal? What is she trying to do? She's trying to set a trend. I don't know if you know about it. This woman.
Yeah. I talked about it from the beginning there. So she actually did go ahead and get the in vitro fertilization. She probably paid a gang of money for that because that procedure usually fails a number of times. So she's probably paid tens of thousands of dollars to finally get it to work, unless she was just lucky the first time around. Bottom line is, Ebony K. Williams, people keep saying, Ebony K. Williams chose to be a single mom. Ebony K. Williams chose to be single. No, she didn't. We chose that for her. If Ebony could have gotten something better, she'd have it. Ebony K. Williams did not choose to be a single mom. Men chose her single motherhood. And now she's just making do as best she can with it. And that's it. What she's telling you now is that she is concluding that it's a foregone conclusion that she is so arrogant, so narcissistic, and so insufferable that there is no man who will knowingly, consciously entrust her with his genetic legacy. So she's now throwing in the towel. Fine, I can't be a wife. I'll just be a mother. And now she's going to sit up here and have some narcissistic relationship with a daughter. And pretty much that's the end of that for her. So what she's saying is, okay, y'all can go ahead and write me off now.
So is she angry at black men or men in general?
She's angry at men in general and black men in specific.
Okay, because I'm saying you had your zaddy. I didn't know what she was tripping about.
Yeah,
Now,
but then they feel entitled. So if it didn't work out over there, then black men are supposed to be the damn cleanup men, and then she came over here and we wasn't the cleanup men neither. So entitlement isn't rational.
Oh, she thought we was just gonna fall at her feet.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, she's light skinned and cute, and it doesn't matter what's going on, y'all. There's going to be somebody there who sits up here and comes and runs in and does X, Y, Z. So yeah,
attitude, Jason. You know, we've seen that attitude. It's like she has an attitude of a baby boomer. Like I said, women still talk like that with that attitude.
Here was the problem with Ebony K. Williams. Ebony K. Williams cannot get along with men, particularly black men, because her contempt, she can't even hide it. She is contemptuous of black men, and she can't even hide it. You talk to her for a few minutes and it goes left. So unless you're a black man who doesn't like black men, you're not going to get along with her.
I got a cousin that's a high earner just like her. She can't keep a job working on a man for nothing. She'll make $150,000 and she used to call me crying. Oh, they let me go. They didn't renew my contract. I say, woman, you can't go in there talking to them Indian men crazy. You know, in their country, they slap women around. So he wasn't going to say nothing when you humiliated him in front of everybody. He just wasn't going to renew your contract. Now, Jason, I want to be clear about with women. And you was talking about, I'm confused about something you said earlier about how they overpay house. So if a woman make a practical decision when she's trying to trap a man, they real clear. When they ready for you to set them down, they know how to manipulate. They know the techniques to trap a man. But she gonna make an impractical decision to overpay for a house? I'm confused. Please explain, brother.
No, when they're by themselves, they make knee-jerk impulsive decisions.
Okay.
Because there's usually somebody around to bail them out, or females have gotten accustomed to being pampered in our society, which means that they can make whatever silly decision they want to, rack up the bastard kids, rack up the STDs, rack up the debt. There's going to be somebody who's going to come along and give you preferential treatment. They don't believe that's not true until you let them go and they smash into a wall. Now they believe it. When that happens, then they go scrambling for safety.
Okay, so they had that government safety net, but it has holes in it. So,
well, there is no government safety net when you take out a mortgage. So you have to actually make a competent decision when you do that.
I don't know why a woman would do it if it was ironic that you used that picture of the woman working on the house. Woman ain't gonna be repairing too much on no house.
Yeah, that's silly as hell. So, but understand something, it's not something that they think through. They're feeling their way through it. They're not thinking their way through it. As a man, you're thinking your way through it. So you're thinking about, by the way, where am I going to be in 10 years if I make this decision? She's thinking, where will I be in 10 days? Oh, I'm going to move my stuff in and start decorating. She's literally not thinking about the next month's payment. Not at all.
Jason, what I was thinking about, brother, was about 10 to 15 years, I'm going to have to pay about $12,000 for a roof. You understand? When the air conditioning system went out and they changed over with the Freon, you couldn't even get these type of air conditioners anymore. They changed on the style. That's another $8-9 grand.
Yeah. Doing a central unit on average is like $10,000. So and especially if you had the old one there and they didn't have the old refrigerant, they got the R134, whichever might not be R134 anymore. They actually got a different one, depending on what refrigerant they're using. But yeah, if they phased it out because of ozone or whatever, then you can't even use that unit. So that becomes an issue. So yeah, you could drop $10,000 on a new AC. When it's time to do a roof, that could be $20,000-$30,000 if it's time to do a roof. So it's real easy to get up under a mortgage. It becomes a lot more challenging, especially in the case of women. They tend to try to go for their dream car and their dream house. They don't believe in a starter car or starter house. It's always, I need to go to the dream car and dream house, and I want to pull it by myself. That's the part that's impractical. You've gone from being in your mother or your father's household to getting out here by yourself, which means that you've given yourself no margin for error. If you're by yourself, you have no margin for error. None.
You're right. 2 women out here. One of them, her husband passed, and the other one, two, I would say they're about 10, 12 years younger than me, black women. and the other one had her zaddy. When they divorced, she got the house. She went and bought that bigger BMW. I don't know which one it is, but it's pretty long. And the other lady had a Mercedes. Roof about to come off. It's almost paper, but you got a new luxury vehicles. You understand? I don't think women think things through when it comes to things like that. You heard what Jason was saying? He was saying about the change in the free hunt. Women, that's why you need a man around. Now, you ain't got to get one, but I'm telling you, you need a competent man around because it's going to cost you all kind of money. When you talking to these people, man, that man almost told me, because I told him, man, give me the one. I almost got that air conditioning. Oh, yeah, but we could put all your ductwork. That'll be $12,000. I said, no, give me the one a little bit smaller, So I paid about $8,500, but I said, my God. I say, man, if you don't know how to talk to these people, and women, if you're not, if sex don't work on everything. When you're trying to buy a car, man trying to make money. When you getting stuff done in these houses, showing a little cleavage ain't gonna work. That may work with the cable man. Now, Jason, you are. I don't know if you know it. My daughter showed me this here. Have you heard about I remember they say the soft lady movement. Have you heard about this soft guy movement?
We did a whole program on that, Prince.
Oh.
You know, the drizzle thing. We did a whole program on that. I talked to some.
Okay, so that's the same thing. Okay, the same thing. Okay, that's what I thought, because I saw drizzle, soft guy. I was making sure I didn't know if the same thing. Now, dealing with the women, ain't none of them different. I'm down here in Texas, right? So you got these. I just talked to the African brother over there. His daddy passed. So I'm like a father figure to the three brothers. They are mom. She a nurse. She traveled. They good people. And I asked him, because he was telling me how all these younger African chicks getting run through. And I asked, we sitting down. He talked to me. We talk about everything. I say, so the tradition. He say, well, no, ain't no tradition. They getting run through. Girls I went to school, he married, all his brothers married. He say, I asked him why you think that is. He says because of their fathers. Their father spoiled a lot of them. You understand? And didn't prepare them for how to deal with men.
Yeah, I mean, they've come over here and stuff, and folks are trying to pass off these lies to try to elevate their value and make it seem like they're so much better. But the truth of the matter is, over there 40, 50 years ago, they did more arranged marriages. They kept within the tribe. It was more controlled when you operated within those smaller groups. Yeah. They're acting as if they're coming over here and keeping it the same, and no, that's not the case. And furthermore, over there it wasn't the case either, because, by the way, I mean, I covered this over a decade ago. The white men have had no problem pulling the Nigerian women over there when they go over there. So it's not like that at all. So I'm just saying, hey, don't sit up here and try to flex on folks with things that are lies, thinking that we don't already know these things or whatever. We're already aware of what's going on. And what I'm saying is that if you want us to go ahead and game you up, we can game you up from a better position here. But don't come in false flagging, because that's the kind of thing that's going to trip you up. I'll let you have the last word.
Jason, I want to ask you this here. Well, first I want to say that women, when they trying to get with you, they want you to help you pay their student loan off, and they want to help pay their mortgage. Now, dealing with the women, why do you think Black men, because we live here in Houston, they don't not just really trying to pull African women necessarily, especially Nigerian women in particular. Why do you think Black men is just not a big thing with us dealing with Nigerian women or other African women? Now, in Caribbean, maybe, Ghanaian women tend not, they're kind of quiet. You don't even know, you may not necessarily know they're Ghanaian. But what do you think it is that it's just cultural difference, or it's just Black men have certain interests? What do you think it is?
Well, definitely. I mean, like I say, especially those of us, it's not new. I don't know why folks want to act like there's no African chicks. There's African females all over the United States. Mm-hmm. People try to act like there's some new novel thing. It's like, okay, it's not. And what we're saying is that we see they move different. We see the way that they operate. They try to stick within their groups, and they've universally had bad attitudes. It's very, very rare to find one who doesn't. So that is the reputation that they got. Now, there might be a little bit of a nuance in places like New York City or Minnesota where you have a heavier population where fellas want to fool themselves into believing, oh, that doesn't matter. But the bottom line is there's a reason why you don't see very many, black men who are descended here in America with females from Africa. There's a reason why you can count them on one damn hand. Yes. It's very, very rare to see anything outside of that because the word has gotten out. Everybody knows what the deal is, and our experience across the board has been pretty uniform. I shouldn't say pretty uniform. Our experience has been uniform across the board. So the females feel some kind of way now because having a bunch of guys around here who feel like they're entitled, which is what's really happened, has made a lot of these Nigerian fellas feel like they're entitled. But the other thing is, they don't like that. The bottom line is the African fellas in America, they want some of the American sauce. They're not really digging the Nigerian chicks.
You already know.
They either want a white woman or they want an American chick. They're not really keen on that traditional Nigerian female, number one, because they know the real deal on them. Not that garbage they try to tell everybody else. And they're like, yeah, we're good on that. So a lot of them chicks are for the streets, only trying to be in a traditional tribal way, but the bottom line is that's even more treacherous because you got your daddy there, okay, negotiate the best deal you can. And that's what they're really trying to do while trying to disguise it as something else. So it's not us. Understand something with the Nigerian male to female ratio in America is damn near 1-to-1. So there really isn't a whole lot of reason why they should be running around like that. I mean, I talk to these cats on a regular basis and they're not feeling it. They're not feeling it. They're not digging it. The families put the pressure on, but the bottom line is they're not feeling it and they're not digging it. The chicks don't have the swag like they want. It's they're hitting them with the ready-made family thing. There's a lot of money to be made out here, but she wants you to pull the plug on that now. And mama was okay with that, but he's not. So that puts a lot of downward pressure on it. And as a result, the desire factor is really not there, no matter what's going on. So for us, we've seen enough, we've heard enough, and it's really not a desirable option. If they had different attitudes, maybe we'd feel about it differently. But the short answer to your question is the word is out. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here, Prince. Let me see if I can get Darius here on the phone. Let me see if I can get Darius here. Okay, there you go. All right, Darius, you're on live with the business. What's on your mind?
Here, Prince. Let me see if I can get.
Okay, he is trying to get his speaker situation together.
Me? Yeah.
Okay, sir. What's on your mind, sir?
What's going on? I'm on the business. First of all, what's going on, Jason? I'm looking on the TV. I can't see my pictures. Can you see me?
No, there's a delay, sir. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Well, first of all, don't go in on me. I've been listening to you for years, Jason. And this is actually Juno.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but I be agreeing with a lot of stuff you say. So
brother, don't take this the wrong way. Okay. You were disputing me when I said all the niggas at the mall all want to look like Migos. And you were disputing it. No, they ain't it. They ain't it. And I'm like, as soon as he turns his damn camera on, do y'all see y'all? It's damn me Quavo. Come on, man. I mean, come on now. What are you disputing?
No, I had dreads before Quet, and them boys ain't from Atlanta, but I don't want to talk about that.
That's not my point. My point is not that they're from Atlanta. My point is that's Atlanta's get down. If anybody go through Lenox Mall, that's the local population. That is the get down. Lenox Mall, downtown, Ferris wheel, Waffle House, Weston, Perimeter. You want me to tell you about your city, sir? Notice I didn't say nothing about Buckhead yet. I ain't said a word about that. We can do this all damn day. We really, really can. Peachtree, Ted Turner. We can do this all day. Sir, what you doing right now on the camera, yes, this is it right here. And the females in Atlanta are very, very cagey and very, very wary. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so all I was trying to figure out is you said Atlanta. I mean, you said we had like a manhood problem here. And that's number one. So I wanted to get your answer. I mean, I want you to, because they was telling me to call in to get some knowledge on what you meant by that. So I was just really trying to get you know what I'm saying? I know you be having that knowledge. So
how old are you, young man?
I'm 29.
Okay, brother. I mean, dude, you got half the fellas in Atlanta trying to swing their hips like the girls. It ain't happening.
True too, but that that ain't the whole city. Man.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be the whole city, young man. If I sold you a car and that car, okay, tell me something. Give me a percentage, just ballpark. What percentage of the fellas in Atlanta do you think are like that?
A percentage. I mean, like I said, and I'm gonna give you a number. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like. Most of the time,
okay, just ballpark your own personal estimate. You don't have to be scientific. Just your own personal estimate. You feel like it's what percentage of the population?
Gay. When you say, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube.
You can say whatever you want to. Just don't say the F word. You can't say that.
Okay. Well, gay dudes. If you're talking about gay dudes and including down low, I mean, I say probably like 40. I don't see that though. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of town and all that.
Okay, sir. Okay, stop. Stuff, this isn't about what you see. This is about what do the other people in your city experience.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on.
You're not the only guy there. And the fellas in your neighborhood are not the only guys. So it would be different if you were the only men and you were the only ones they encountered. You just sat up here and said, I think the number's like 40%. That's damn near half. Now, let me ask you a question, sir. If I sold you a brand new car that you paid $200,000 for, you're going to be making payments to me for $5,000 a month for the next half a decade. Nice car, bright, shiny, every damn thing else. You took it home. And 30 days later, you come back to me mad as a son of a gun. And I say, sir, what's the problem? And you tell me, Jason, that car you sold me, and look down here, nigga, stop looking at the chat room. The car you sold me, Jason, it only got me to work 4 out of 10 times. And then I sit here and tell you, well, hell, that's not every day. Why, 6 days out of 10, you were able to make it to work. You're mad as hell. You're like, damn, that 6 days, 4 days out of the week, I can't get, the car doesn't start. So are you listening to me about that 6 days out of 10? Or are you listening about that 4? You ain't trying to hear that six days. Well, hey, 6 days out of the week, it cranks up. You're like, nigga, please.
Yeah, definitely.
That 4 days runs everything. So when you sit here and say, well, they ain't all of us, dude, that's enough of you. It's enough. You trying to save face with that 40. It ain't all of us. Come on, man. That's face-saving talk. If the females are running into that, I'm going to be generous and say if they're running into that 20% of the time, do you understand what the hell that does to them? That make them not want to talk to dudes, period. If your car didn't crank up but 20% of the time, I mean, if your car broke down 20% of the time you drove it, you'd be looking for a new car. We wouldn't make it a month. Sure. You wouldn't make it a month. You'd be looking for a new car after 2 weeks.
For sure. Yeah,
okay, but you want the women to hang on for 40% for the rest of their lives. And I'm saying, no, dude, they seen it. They see the same damn Atlanta you in. You telling them, well, can't y'all overlook the 40%? No, not really. Not really.
Can I say that like I get what you're saying. What I was more so saying was like I said, I really called this that for that manhood comment you made, but like
that's the manhood. That's the manhood thing, dude. Because what I'm saying is that a lot of these fellas, that's not genetic, that's not natural. They were raised in environments that nurtured that and coddled that. The mama's boy mushroom, feminized them and whatnot, and so the manhood training has never been on code, and so they're assimilating to what they've seen. They have not been put out in the wilderness to have to make it on their own and whatnot and to build it on their own. They haven't had a reliable father figure or masculine male role model. So they're patterning themselves after the females and the hoes and the fellas who are sitting up here trying to be effeminate, looking for a dude to take care of them. Everybody's trying to get somebody to take care of them and sponsor them. And they're emulating that. Whether it's Metro Grill downtown, don't start me. Don't come for me. Y'all don't want me to start naming spots. You don't want me to do that. Y'all thought I was going to say the Sundial. You don't want me to start telling you about your city. Louisiana restaurant up the street from the W. You don't want me to do this. You really don't. You do not want me to start naming names. I be trying to take it easy on cities. Y'all don't want me to start, because then y'all be trying to track me down in my spots. Y'all don't want me to do that.
Nah, we ain't doing all that.
Oh, trust me. Trust me. I got many a crazy stalker. Believe me, they'll be calling every damn restaurant in Atlanta. That didn't come back through here, sir. What I'm saying is that, bruh, I'm telling you about your city. I ain't telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've lived. I see what they doing. And I see why the females are turned off. Let me tell you here, New Year's night, 2021, I'm like, oh, I'm straight. I'm that dude coming up there in the West. I'm like, these niggas can't hang with me. These niggas can't hang with me at all. I could have pulled anything I wanted that night. That's why I showed y'all on video. It's not a nigga out here that could stop me if I wanted it. Not a one. I'm just not trying to get no little Migos jumping me in the middle of the damn street on no damn New Year's Day.
You gotta use somebody else. The Migos is not from Atlanta.
Man, look here. If Atlanta niggas ain't the Migos, they'll do till the Migos get here. I ain't gonna shade it. Bruh, them fellas, the masculine game ain't on point. It's the fellas are walking around looking like a bunch of little kids. There's the issue. I can understand the desire to want to preserve your youth and vitalness. Here's the issue. Women don't gravitate to that on men, not quality women. Take a look at the way you looked at 18. Take a look at the way you now look at 29. If there is little to no change, that's not a good thing. You're not supposed to look the same way at 30 that you did at 20. And you're damn sure not supposed to look the way at 40 that you did at 30. There's a point where we put that to the side. We put away our young, immature things, and we put on that grown man's uniform. That I'm the leader. The next thing that does is that I ain't supposed to look like you. My hair is not supposed to look like the young cats running around out here. That's a failure to lead. That's the root of masculinity. I ain't supposed to be trying to look like these young cats. I've transcended that. He's trying to drive a damn Dodge Charger. I'm trying to push this Maybach over here. He and I are not the same. And what I'm saying is that don't expect the females to respect you in that manner when you aren't making a clear distinction between you and them. Hey, baby, I don't dress like these little young cats around here. I don't do that. I don't have the little young cat's hairstyle. I don't do that. I don't do any of this that they do. I'm the grown, I'm the adult. Sir, all I'm saying is how many 18-year-olds have you seen wearing their hair the same as yours?
I mean,
in Atlanta, nigga, come on now.
Yeah, but everybody, like you said though, that's all. I mean, it's dudes older than me with dread, like
and you, as I said, everybody trying to be Derek Jackson. And you wonder,
that's what I was
wonder why the females are responding to y'all like that.
No, don't nobody respect Derek Jackson here, bro. We don't.
Oh, nigga, are you kidding me? Derek Jackson's still packing hoes in rooms now. What are you talking about?
He probably is, but getting hoes really not nothing, bro. They don't mean nothing.
Okay, but sir, they're not giving you all more than him. What I'm saying is that Derek,
what they giving them?
Derek is. But sir, what I'm saying is, but none of y'all, including Derek, are getting that respect.
I mean, okay, and that's what I do want to say.
I feel like I'm talking to Jay again. I said that, then you're like, okay, I understand, but
hey, I've been hearing you talk about that Jay dude too. What I was saying, okay, and I'm glad you brought up. This is all I had to ask too. But for the last guy, what his name was, Prince, who was on here, I hope, so I hope you still watching and listening, man. Like, I think you was coming from more of a perspective of an older guy, and you saying like what guys don't want to do. Like, I ain't got a problem with taking no girl on no date or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, you got to think these women, and Jason, I know you're a little older too or whatever like that. These women ain't like they was when you was 29 or whatever like that. Man, you'll go out all day, work hard, you know what I'm saying? They don't appreciate nothing you do. And I ain't bashing women, you know what I'm saying? All of them ain't like that, so I don't want to say every woman. But like, they don't appreciate none of that, bro. And like I say, they not like the women of y'all times, bro. So
okay, like, well, slow down.
He talking about, you do all this and don't get it.
Okay, slow down. They're not
Well,
like
they're
not
not
like
like
the women of y'all's time. Now let me go ahead and have a reminder for you all. I don't know whose time you're referring to, but brother, let me say this again. I ain't one of these old niggas out here telling you about how we was killing them back in 94 and killing them back in 2004. Nigga, I'm still on the streets now. I'm still out here.
I'm talking about the Prince dude.
Okay, well, I'm saying about me. Well, Prince older than I am, but what you just said about the same thing. I'm out here now. I'm out here. I got females now. I'm out here in the streets now. I'm moving and shaking now. I'm getting introduced now. I'm seeing the exact same thing that you seeing right now in your city and 1,000 others. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing on the ground what's happening. I'm seeing what the situation is. And what I'm telling you is I'm so glad you got on Zoom because I want you to understand, in the female psyche, there really isn't, as far as females are concerned, there's not much daylight between you and Derek. Because you're not doing anything to distinguish yourself. Let me ask you, okay, slow down. Sir, I'm explaining. Listen and soak up the game. I'm explaining.
Okay.
You're 29 years old.
Yes, sir.
Okay, does the average 29-year-old in Atlanta want to be with a 29-year-old dude?
You said, do they want to be with a 29-year-old dude?
Is the average female in Atlanta, 29-year-old female in Atlanta, does the average 29-year-old female in Atlanta want to be with a 29-year-old?
I mean, I think I don't.
Okay,
if you find that they want to be older.
Y'all, do you see all this? Y'all see all this damn face? Okay, sir, it's not about do you get a bunch of women. I asked you whether they prefer, and you already know the answer. So what you're doing right now, just understand, you're not stalling me. Just understand, you're sitting up here confusing yourself and this kind of conflict. You know the answer to that already. So it's not nothing for me to go on about this. Just understand, I need you fellas to be around some men. Y'all need to be around some men and not around them women who raised you, because when you're around men, we don't let you do that. Brother, you already know a 29-year-old in Atlanta ain't trying to be with a 29-year-old because she knows you ain't got nothing she don't have. She wants to be with a nigga that got the bag, and that's generally going to be older. Okay, but she also wants to not with a fellow who just got the bag. I mean, she also wants to be with the one who got the status. The one who's living a different life. The fellow who's living a different life. And that's the part that you're not exposed to because of where you are and what your age is and what you're doing. You're not exposed to that. So you're on the outside looking in. I mean, you're on the inside looking out, but you're not on the outside looking around. Because you're not in that position and you're not that guy that they're looking for at that range. I'm telling you what they're looking for, and you already know this. You already know if they have their druthers, that's what they're going to go for. But because there's a difference. The other difference that you don't see, though, is that us cats who are a little bit older than y'all, we don't dress like y'all. Listen to how you're talking and how I'm talking. We don't talk like y'all. Now, I'm from the South just like you are. I make a conscious effort, though, to suppress that. You couldn't suppress it if your life was on the line. Yeah. I'm not saying that to be denigrating or insult. That's all I know. I'm not saying it. Okay, but think about that statement you just made right there. There's that statement you just made. There's very little daylight between you and Jay now. He said the same thing. Only he said it as only he said it as that's the best I can do. And you just said that's all I know. Sir, I'm trying to impress something on you. The way I'm talking to you right now and the way in which I comport myself to you all right now, that's the way I've been doing this since I was in my teens when I learned I needed to learn how to switch up. I can't talk like I'm from, even though in Shreveport, Louisiana, we actually don't have a lot of Southern accent, to be totally honest, with Northern Louisiana. But in any case, I learned.
I rock with Shreveport. I've been there plenty of times.
Oh, we appreciate that. Interstate 20 all day. It's just 8 short hours away. In any case, I learned I have to change that up. And what I'm saying is that listen to the females in Atlanta. In reality, that's the way they act because they got to keep their jobs with the white folk. So what I'm saying is that, you'll get along with females in Atlanta. Here's the disconnect, brother. I'm not talking about getting along with them. I'm talking about leading, not getting along with them. We get females, we get sex. I mean, everybody does that, except Asian population struggling at it. That's not the point. The point is who's in command. Now, there's a part where Derek Jackson would have a little bit more control because he can pretend like he's more serious than he is, even though take a look at his life and take a look at his wife and take a look at his kids.
Yeah, he's lying. I mean, I don't want to be a liar.
Well, you certainly don't want to be a liar, but the real thing is it doesn't matter whether you're telling the truth if you're weak. If you're not dealing from a position of strength, it doesn't matter if you're being honest. And what I'm saying is that
would make me like
listen to me.
Sorry.
The women anywhere you go, they're not looking for a man on their level. Listen to this next part. Just listen and soak up the game, young man. No female is looking for a man on her level. She's looking for a man above her level. But that doesn't just mean financially. She wants to know that you're a man that she can look up to intellectually, emotionally, socially, politically, because her father led her to you. She is now looking for the man who is going to lead her to the next place. But if you talk just like her or below her, if your level of knowledge is equal or below hers, if your mastery is equal or below hers, if your politics are equal or below hers, then guess what? You're not above her, and thus she might lay up with you, but she waiting for a real nigga to come along. She's just going to have some fun with you till a real nigga show up. And that's what most of you in Atlanta are dealing with.
We having fun with them too.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, quote, we having fun. Understand something. As a grown man, I don't have fun with females. Because what I'm saying is there's a whole lot more to be had than that. Sex is supposed to be a given. You know what I consider to be fun? A female who increases my lifestyle and increases my assets and increases my value. There's nothing to be had about a man. If a man's got value, there's nothing to really be had with a female who the only thing she can do is sit up here and follow you around the places. You can go on vacation and she's your damn tag along. At some point, you're supposed to transcend that. The standard's supposed to go up. Yeah, you can have bed buddies and stuff, and I'm just like, just understand her value is supposed to be what it is. That's why, you don't get married to a chick who her contribution is, well, I'm sitting over here and hold your hand when you go places. That ain't enough, baby. That's enough for them young boys. That's not enough over here. Just like Jay-Z said, we don't call that money over here. Yeah. We don't call that woman over here. We don't call that a woman over here. Them young fellas looking for something to lay up with, that's supposed to be a given. The real thing is she's supposed to be value adding. Let me explain this to you differently, because like I say, you're 29 years old. I'm not trying to bring you out of that right now. He's 29, y'all, so he's still in that stage and everything. But you about to hit your 30s. Y'all know I'm about to hit him with the graph on the screen. He about to hit his 30s. And when he hits
so
that...
I look at the screen because I ain't looking at the chat.
No. Stop looking at the chat, nigga. It'll be up there in a minute. Just take my word for it. Anyway, when he hits his 30s, it's going to change. Because he's going to start looking at that bank account, because once y'all get in your 30s, you're going to realize, if you smartened up at all, sex is not new to you. You're going to be looking at that bank account and asking yourself, okay, sex is a given. How about my life? Am I living the life I want to be living? And plus, I ain't going to want to be doing this in 30 years. So am I setting myself up to make sure I can exit the game the way I want to exit the game? Or am I setting myself up for a lifetime of struggle where my tomorrows all look like my todays? Now, that's when you're on your grown man thing. When sex is a given, and when you start thinking about, hey, I want to have a better tomorrow. Guess what? Some of them hoes you've been entertaining, she can't stay around no more. You're going to find that you are no longer sexually aroused. Notice I didn't say sexually attracted. You're no longer even sexually aroused by them. I don't care how cute the face, big the ass, large the breast, slim the waist. It's like, baby, I'm offended you're here. Now that's when you start maturing as a man, when a woman has to do something for you before you can even be aroused. It is not that you don't like sex. You're always going to like sex. It's that your standards are raised. For it's like, baby, I ain't no young boy no more. Sex is a given for me. When I was chasing it, when sex was new, all you had to do was show up with the right cleavage. I'm a grown ass man now. You got to do more than just be sexy to get me interested. I need more than that. And I'm not saying this philosophically. I'm saying that literally that's where you're going to be when you mature in the next couple of years. Literally, them chicks down there in Magic City, it ain't going to move you. You're going to be like, I don't know what the hell happened. Am I getting old? No, you're getting mature. That ain't gonna be enough because you're like, okay, I had that. Psychologically, you ain't doing nothing for me because remember, sex happens between your ears, not between your legs. When you get to a point where sex is no longer happening between your legs, it's happening between your ears. Now chicks gotta do more. Now you taking a look at your life and saying, does this chick over here match it? Does she compliment what I'm doing, what I'm trying to make happen? Hey, my credit score ain't together. Does she compliment an 820 credit score? Hey, I'm trying to get out this Dodge Charger and get my ass over here in this BMW 7 Series. Does she compliment that? Is she a match for where I'm going? That's the kind of question you'll be asking. And as soon as you figure out she's not a match, you're like, oh, get this stuff out of here. I don't give a damn what she look like. She got to go. It's me and her, we're not compatible. And the younger niggas be looking at each other. What you mean not compatible? You see the ass on her? And you're like, yeah, that's when you're gonna, when that moment happens, that's when you're like, damn, Jason Black told me that was gonna occur. Now you've grown up. Yeah. Now you're a grown man. Okay, but here's my thing. The females are looking for that man. They'll sleep with you if he's not available. And that's the point I want you to understand. Tonight's program is about survival sex. Yeah, y'all are getting a bunch of females who can't do better. If they actually had one to compare you to what she really wants, wonder what your odds would be like then. But then again, you already know. So the real thing isn't, do you have the chick who'll lay up with you? The real thing is, are you the person she prefers? Because let me tell you something. I want to give you an analogy here, and then I'm going to let you finish. I want to give you an analogy here to think about. Who would you rather be, young man, to a female? Would you rather be the man that she prefers to have sex with? Or would you rather be the man that she doesn't prefer to have sex with, but she would slit the throat of the man that she does want to have sex with if he told her to?
Well, I damn sure don't want my throat slit, so I got to be the guy who, I mean, he ain't getting the sex, but he alive, so I mean, I guess.
Well, my real thing is, no, he's getting sex. She just doesn't prefer him sexually. The guy she really gets turned on by is old boy over there. So, yes, she has more sexual attraction to that other man, but she submits to this one over here. So, young men, you'll know when you've grown up when you stop worrying about being the person she's attracted to and being the person that she does, not the person she desires to be attracted to, the person she desires to submit to. That's going to be a psychological thing, and that will change everything for you. And then some of this stuff that you've been getting from them that you thought was acceptable before, you're going to be like, wow, that was low grade. That was low value. That was base. There's a whole different level to this. Sir, the average 29-year-old in Atlanta is looking for the fellow who's above her. Okay, well, guess what? The fellow who's above her does not talk like her. He talks better than her. He doesn't dress like her. He dresses like a whole man. He doesn't want to drive the young little sporty car. He drives something else. You're giving her something to aim towards and something to progress to. The young cats push the Challenger and the Charger and the Mustang. At my point here, brother, we wouldn't even think about that thing. We trying to get the Escalade, the Range Rover. You can call it whatever in the world you want to. That's where your female wants to be, because she's like, yeah, this is what she's taking a look at how we move and saying, oh, that's what they do over there. She will tolerate you with your Charger, but if the fellow with the Escalade ever show up, she gone. She won't even tell you. She won't even tell you bye. She won't even say bye. Oh yeah, and that fella is not going to be wearing dreads. He's not going to be wearing long hair. He's not going to look like he's auditioning for the BET Awards. He's not going to look like that at all. You're going to call him a square or whatever. What we're saying is what he's showing you is his mind is in a different place than yours, which means that his life is in a different place than yours. He's probably going to come through the gap bald-headed or whatever the case might be. Beard trimmed up, goatee trimmed up, whatever, but he's making an honest effort. I don't want to look like these guys. I don't want the females to confuse me with y'all. No offense. No offense, no insult, but I want it to be a very clear distinction. And you know why? When she makes that clear distinction, that's all she needs to see. Now she can immediately make a choice. You want to be that guy The manhood code ain't together until you become that guy. The fella swinging his hips because he raised around the females. The fella sitting up here dressing, sagging his pants. The fella sitting up here dressing like he's an 18-year-old. He's wearing the youngsters' hairstyles and stuff. What I'm saying is you can be shaped up and groomed well and everything else, but you should make, as you get older, you should make a conscious decision to distinguish yourself from where you were so that people, women, children, men, everybody can see there's an evolution with you. He's not the same person he was, and he damn sure ain't like y'all. That's the manhood I'm referring to.
Okay, yes, sir. I now see that was perfectly clear, but I just didn't. I I get that now, and you absolutely right about the maturing thing. Like, I mean, I know I probably still got a way to go. I ain't gonna dispute that, but like, I know what you mean. That's kind of where I was getting at, like, about like not bashing them, but like just how at one point in my time, like 22, 23, like I really didn't care if a girl like didn't cook or nothing like that. Like I care about that stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Like that matters. So you are right. Like not saying that's just a small, of what I'm saying, but like just little stuff like that is starting to matter. And like you said, I mean, I would care about, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna upgrade myself for me though. It ain't even for the women. Like I don't do nothing for women. I do it for myself, and women gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, like you said, when you level yourself up, I listen to a lot of your programs. You gotta level yourself up first before you even be. Don't worry about no woman in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And as far as sleeping with them, like you said, I mean. I don't even really be stuck with want, because I look at this, Jason, like, what if I am that I live up in 3-4 years or whatever, as far as, I cut my dreads off and all this and that. And like you said, like, as a successful man, who wants that woman? Because a lot of that go on here in Atlanta. That's what I was getting to say. Like, the successful dudes out here, this Atlanta, right? Successful black men, but they still be cheating on these men with other guys who not all the way there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying like I'm all that or nothing, but like I didn't even have girls like at my job. They dudes be driving them nice cars, and he don't even know what she doing when he gone. This man.
Okay. Like I say, cats in Atlanta. Once again, this is a manhood thing. Jason, why do you say that? Because it's very clear. Did you all hear what he said? They don't know what they woman doing. And what I'm saying is, you know why that is? Because you're contacting her. She doesn't contact you. You're talking to her in the morning. She ain't talking to you. None of that. None of that. That's the issue. If if you are leading and she's digging you, she's contacting you. You don't have to wonder what the hell she at.
But
okay,
I mean,
sir,
sir, they contact me though, man.
Okay, sir,
they do.
No. No.
They do.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing like that.
Okay, what I'm saying is that you don't have to worry about that situation. You talking about, they cheat on and stuff like that. Fellas don't have to worry about that unless they're dealing with a chick they know is prone to it. And y'all supposed to leave them alone in the first place. So you lay down with dogs. Don't worry when you get up with fleas. So don't talk silly. The real thing is, if you're the person that she's digging, you're the guy she's following, you're the one she wants to be with, she is most interested in you. When a woman is interested in you, she's checking with you in the morning. She wants to make sure that you ain't with nobody else. On account of the fact that, especially in a place like Atlanta, if y'all would get yourselves together and whatnot, she's like, oh, wait a minute. This is one of the straight men in Atlanta who got his whole damn act together. I know there's a bunch of scummy broads who will sit up here and bend over for him in an elevator. So she's like, if I got the dude, she's trying to make sure that she stays straight with you. So that's what I'm saying. As soon as you're not the first one, as soon as y'all start talking about this cheating talk and whatnot, I'm like, okay, if you're in demand like that, she's supposed to be worried about you, not the other way around. She's supposed to be trying to make sure she's good with you, make sure she's straight with you, making sure she's the one sitting up here supposed to be worried about you exercising options, not the other way around. And you're supposed to see from what she's doing, and she always checking up. She's trying to make sure her spot's secure. Yeah, that's what's supposed to be happening. So when y'all keep clowning the chat room, organic, the rest of these, when y'all do that kind of stuff, what I'm saying is you do understand you're showing your hand, right? That reaction you talking about, you do understand there's a reason why we don't talk about that over here like that. Because we recognize the chicks who are just hoes. Okay, well, you ain't supposed to be expecting nothing from her to be a hoe anyway. But if you're talking about one who's not supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to properly vet that and identify that. And if that's not the case, okay, well, then why would she cheat? She's not going to cheat on you if you're that dude. She's not going to cheat on you if you're the one if she is more interested in you than you are in her. She's checking on you. She knows in Atlanta, you're going to have a bunch of options. Now, I'm not talking about them scummy ass options either. You're going to be dating doctors, lawyers, accountants,
those women. Yeah.
Chicks who have to put on a suit when they go to work. Not chicks swinging their butt cheeks down there at Magic City. It's chicks who have to actually put on a uniform when they go to work. And I don't mean McDonald's uniform. When a chick got you, when she's like that and she got you, she's trying to make sure in Atlanta, she knows it's treacherous. She knows it's treacherous in Atlanta. She's trying to make sure she holds on to you. And you see it from what she does every day. She's trying to hold on to me. This chick is trying to hold it down when she getting with me. That's what you get. That's why that talk y'all give like that. I'm like, okay, I know y'all ain't got experience. That's why I kicked over out of the chat room. It was like, okay, when you talk like that, I know you don't have experience with this. Stop pretending you do. You're too young to understand what you don't know. You're giving it away that you don't know. That tells me the kind of females you're dealing with, but it also tells me what they're seeing from you. Or whoever the, quote, guys are y'all talking about, well, they're seeing the same thing from them too. They're seeing the same thing. And y'all, that's what I meant by y'all are all in the same boat together, which is why the conversation goes like that with y'all. Y'all don't even know what you don't know. You're all in the same boat together. The females are looking for something different. They're looking for something different. That's what I'm saying. Like right now, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'8", a little under 5'8", actually.
Okay, because
like
nigga look like you could be 6
5'8".
something. That's all the more reason right there for you to distinguish yourself. All the more reason right there to distinguish yourself.
Why? Because you saying my height ain't tall enough or something?
No, what I'm saying is that men have a type, women have a type, men have a range. You get that?
Yes, sir.
Men have a range, women have a type. And what I'm saying is that, remember, we've already covered, by the way, she's looking for somebody who's above her. Case in point, I'm not going to get into that real deep there because I'm pretty sure we already know where that goes, but I want y'all to understand is most of the guys in Atlanta are simply trying to get into a position where they have sexual access and sexual variety. The females know this. Everybody knows this. Everybody. Some of y'all are pushing Chargers. Some of y'all are pushing Beamers. The bottom line is that's what everybody's doing.
I got a Charger too, but I don't like.
Of course you do. I'm about to say, of course you do. Y'all knows I keep hammering. Dude, you're wearing the Charger uniform. You got the Charger haircut, the Charger teeth, the Charger baseball cap. Dude, you're wearing the uniform of the Charger guy. I want you to understand that. Okay, I want you to understand. Okay, but do you think that this is any? I don't know why y'all think that. Oh, they stereotype and they generalize. No, they're not. They're using data. And the females see what I see. Sir, that's why I said, don't tell me about what the hell y'all doing at Lennox Mall as soon as you got on the camera. Hello, Lennox Mall.
I don't go to Lennox, but I got you, yeah.
Sir, you are Lennox walking. You are Lennox walking. And what I'm saying is, dude, the females see this. I'm just telling you, brother, females see this. And they're going, here's where it confuses you, and here's where you're going to feel betrayed. When you talk to them, they're going to tell you there's nothing wrong with it. There's not a problem. Everything's okay. That's where you're going to be betrayed because they're going to tell you that, but then I'm going to show you where they're giving a different response somewhere else. So in reality, they only said that to you because you were the audience here, and then do I have something to choose from? If they actually have something to choose from, their attitude changes. Unless she's a female who can't do any better, in which case, okay, fine. But then again, every female thinks she can do better. And that's why I said, by the way, you got to take a look at them and take a look at you. And if the relationship is based on sexual contact or sexual attraction, there's not going to be a whole lot to give there. If she's looking for a guy who's better than her, yikes. Because you might think me and her the same. That's where Jay was messing up. Females ain't looking for a guy who's the same as her, sir. She's looking for a guy who's better. And if your conversation, your attitude, your dress, your demeanor, your goals, last your income, if all of that does not scream non-verbally, by the way, if she cannot glance at you and see that's that dude, he's different. If all that doesn't speak to her non-verbally, that's what you've already lost. That's why I said, dude, the second you cammed up, Dodge Charger, before you said a word, Dodge Charger. Okay, y'all can pretend that, they can't really tell. Okay, you can pretend to be naive if you want to. Just understand, when the women make their selections, when the world makes its selections, they won't play that game with you. They're just going to make their selection, whether it hurts your feelings or doesn't. And right now you're getting sexual access. That's great and everything. I just wonder how much respect you're getting. Because as you get older, the caliber of female you deal with is going to be different, and that respect quotient is going to fall off a damn cliff. Then they talking to you, they talking to us crazy now. Yeah, because they don't think you're going to do any better. Once you reach a certain age, women start writing you off and saying, yeah, this is the best he's ever going to do. He'll talk a big game, but he's had 10, 15 years to prove he can do better. He hasn't moved. He hasn't accomplished anything. Jay on the phone earlier, you in your 40s and 50s. Okay, dude, what you don't understand is women don't see us the way we see them. You're seeing yourself at the age of 30. She's saying, by the way, you've been a grown man now for 12 years. What have you done with that 12 years? She's going to compare you at 18 to you at 30, and she's going to see, is there a radical change or is there just the average? And she's going to judge you on that. She just won't say those words. I'm telling you what she's thinking. Every female in here agrees with me. She's not going to tell you that, these hoes is deceptive. No, they're not. They're females. These females are not deceptive. They're females. She's like, if I got to tell him that he's not meeting the standard, what the hell good would it do to tell him? Just like you as a man. You feel like, if I got to tell this heifer she needs to know how to cook and clean, what good would it do to tell her?
Yeah, sure.
If your parents didn't give you that, me telling you ain't going to help. So you're just like, okay, well, I know one thing you can do without teaching, but let me hurry up and do that so I can send you on your way. And what I'm saying is, yeah, fellas get addicted to that, and then you don't have a female who adds value to you. And just also understand one more thing. A female who keeps throwing them legs open for a guy who isn't producing at a maximum level, she makes you comfortable being where you are. Because you like, hell, I got my charger. I got a chick with a nice ass over here. Why do I need to do more? I'm good like I am. I got regular sexual access, and I got a car I like. Why do I need to do any more? And then you all get paralyzed and emotionally stunted right there. And that's how you end up with cats 40 years old looking like the 25-year-olds.
Yeah, and I can't. Yeah, you're right. I won't. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I ain't mean to cut you off. I ain't know, but yeah. I was just agreeing with you. Like, and I'm saying, like, am I not meeting the standard? Because number one, like, and I ain't gonna hold you up, but I'm not comfortable where I'm at, and it ain't like I don't live my life like based on I want to make, I don't live my life trying to, impress chicks. Like, I'm an upgrade for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, I don't want to drive a Charger the rest of my life. I want to get that Bentley too. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to ask that before I go, so do I, like, am I not, like, so to up, like you said, to get that man thing, what are you saying? Like, I mean, gotta cut the streets off tight, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the West Side, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I cut my dreads off, get business suit type situation, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I'm not gonna necessarily say that, but before you do anything else, manhood begins between your ears, not the clothes you wear. It begins between your ears. You need to have a purpose in life. Now, I can't help you with this part. Nobody can. And this is where most men fail. You have to have a purpose, a mission, a reason for being, something that drives you from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed. See, that's what makes a man a winner. This is why retirees cannot be winners. He's not competing. You're a young man. Don't try to emulate a retiree. You need to have a mission. Yes, a purpose, something that fuels you and drives you, something that is completely unrelated to a woman or anybody else, that this is something that is your mission and your purpose in life. Yours. That's the thing you want to have.
Yes, sir.
And right now, that's what's missing for the majority of you. No wonder you don't have an area of skill or an area of expertise, because there's no mission. This is why younger cats don't listen to older cats, and you about to be an older cat here in just a minute. The teenagers ain't gonna listen to you. But why not? It's got nothing to do with whether you know the lingo or know the rap songs or whatever. They're gonna take a look at their lives and take a look at yours and see if they have anything to learn from you. And if they take a look at your life and be like, hell, I could do that, then guess what? You just lost them. Right there. You just lost them. They're looking at you and they're looking at themselves and, hell, I could do that. You want to be the guy that's like, hey, wait a minute, how can I be down? They're trying to get gamed up. That comes from an area of expertise. The other thing about an area of expertise is it non-verbally communicates to everyone, including females. Notice I said everyone and then I put females last. Is that there's something in this world that's more important than she is. A woman is looking for a man who's on a mission. That means you found something more important than her. In other words, you're looking for status from the rest of the world. Well, guess what? That's what she wants. She wants a man who is respected by the rest of the world. You can't be respected just from being from the West Side. What have you done for the West Side? What have you built in the West Side? Where's your name on the West Side? That's being competitive. I'm a dude from the West Side. Okay, there's a million of them. I want the respect. Okay, well, what have we done? What have we done for the West Side? What have we done for that? What have we built? Where's my name on this? Okay, that's what sets you apart. So before you do it, and that will dictate what you wear, what you drive. If you've got $1 million work ethic and $1 million mission, then that should dictate what you wear and what you drive. If I take a look at the way you look and the way you dress, I'm like, okay, I can see this is a $20,000 mission he on. Okay.
Damn.
So just understand, people respond to you accordingly. When you're a man on $1 million mission, let me explain something to you, brother. I can talk exactly the way I am right now, and I can go down to Dan Whitley and pull anything you want me to. Talking exactly the way
I'm Jason. I know you probably pee, man. I ain't never say you was a lame.
Talking exactly what I'm saying is talking exactly the way I am right now. But here's my real issue about it. They would prefer that. Because do I sound like the guy who parks the cars at the Whitley? Or do I sound like the guy who owns the Whitley? Now, you're thinking about what you want from a woman. I'm telling you, spin it around. What does she want from you? What does she want out of life? Does she want to be with the guy who parks cars at the Whitley? Or is she quiet as kept without telling y'all she would actually prefer to be with the guy who owns the Whitley? You're like, damn, that's a big ambition. Yeah, but she wants it. And she's not going to tell you because you don't own nothing. So she's not going to sit up here and spill her hopes and dreams and guts to you. She ain't going to do that. But she's going to treat you differently. And oh, yeah, when the owner of the Whitley does show up, I don't give a damn how old he is, she's going to be talking to him differently. You're like, damn, that heifer switched up. That hoe switched up on all of us like that. She thinks she's better than us. Well, yeah, she kind of does, actually. Actually, she does. Actually, she does. And what I'm saying is that's not something for you to fight. That's something for you to understand and accept. It's not something for you to resent. It is something for you to recognize and say, you know what? Do I only talk one way? Do I only wear one type of clothes? Do I only drive one type of car? Do I only have an affinity for it? Do I only know about one subject? And is there any subject that I've actually mastered? Have I demonstrated that I've mastered something? All these years I've been on this earth, and what can I tell y'all I'm an expert on? Females do not tell you this as 29-year-old men, but they're looking for that. That's what they want to commit to, because she's like, wow, he knows about more than just the west side of Atlanta. This is a guy who can operate in multiple environments, multiple places, around multiple people. Brother, I'm just saying, I know you don't think of the females being that sophisticated. I know y'all don't think of them that way, but they are. Even if she cannot talk as refined as I do sometimes, she wants it. The very chick you talking about, hooded out, Suki Hana or whatever. By the way, when she met Umar Johnson, what happened? Yikes. Yikes. Say whatever you want to about Umar. By the way, Umar did not alter himself for her. He talked to her the way he does everybody else, by the way, and take a look at how she responded. You wouldn't have thought that was going to occur. Think that over for a minute. She's like, wow, this guy's versatile. He can operate in multiple environments. He can park the cars. Anybody can park the damn cars. Yeah, he can own the building the cars are parked in. Yikes, few of them can do that. Is this the kind of guy we want to sit down in front of a banker to discuss a $10 million deal? In other words, is everybody in Atlanta making $50,000 or more? I mean, everybody in Atlanta is making $50,000. Who's making $5 million? And what I'm saying is not about the money. I'm saying, are you a man who's mastered the environment and has a mission that's so solid that that's what your life produces? Do you want to be a guy whose life is producing 50,000 or a guy whose life is producing 5 million and that you're operating with different people? By the way, the dudes moving at 5 million, are those the fellas in your neighborhood on the west side? Yikes.
Nah, not all. I mean, you got to come.
No, stop it. No. The answer is no. The answer is no.
Nah.
And what I'm saying is just understand the people you hang out with, you're non-verbally communicating to everybody around you what you aspire to. Remember, if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. And if you hang out with 4 broke niggas, you'll be the 5th.
Thanks.
That's manhood. Everybody getting sex in Atlanta. The STDs are rampant. That's not the issue. The issue is who's leading. Who's leading? I'll let you have the last word.
Man, I'm gonna continue to watch your videos. I mean, my bad. I'm gonna continue to watch your streams, your shows. That's why I watch, just so I can get some. I ain't one of them people who don't listen, and I've been watching shows for a while. I appreciate you letting me watch them. I appreciate the knowledge I've been getting. Are you saying something, Jason?
You keep saying show, y'all. I've been listening forever, Jason. All right.
My bad. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you flowers. I don't want no smoke. I just appreciate all you do, man. And I'm gonna keep listening, and hopefully I can call in again. If there ain't no issue, and I appreciate just getting the game.
Okay, you might have to send me an email. My mods might have blocked you. You might have to send me an email with the URL to your YouTube page, just in case they blocked you. I'm not sure if they did or not because I haven't seen you in the chat. But just in case that occurred, you might need to send me an email with a link to your YouTube page. It doesn't matter if you put videos on it. No, you don't need another YouTube. You want to unblock the one you're on because YouTube might block you on both of them because they can see the IPs and stuff. It's real weird. No, it's not real weird. It's just good business, actually. So you might need to do that. If you can't post in the chat room under Juno, just email me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. Just handlethebusiness@yahoo.com.
Handlethebusiness@yahoo.com.
Yeah, and just email me the URL to your YouTube channel, to your YouTube page. And if you've been blocked, I'll go ahead and unblock that for you. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Get the young man gamed up right here. We've got to update them files.
Join me, and I will complete your training.
The guy know what the manhood game is. Okay, let me go ahead here, boy. Y'all had me on for 5 hours again, but this was a special broadcast tonight because I had a lot I needed to touch on. I had a lot to touch on tonight here, so I need to go ahead and spend the time I needed to spend on it here. Don, why does it always look like you're at a damn Korean tea house every time I see you? Don looks like he's at an outdoor kiosk in Koreatown every time I see him. No, can't nobody hear you. He's on that San Francisco broadband. Yeah, every time I see him, y'all, it's looks like he's on a kiosk in Chinatown in New York. Every time I see him, it's neon lights. It looks like a pop-up shop. Every time it's there. Don can hear me now. That's why he's laughing. He's like, he can hear me. I can't hear him. So it's, yeah, buddy. Every time we see that, every time I see Don, it just steady says connecting audio, Don. I don't know what in the world's going on with your connection, bro. It just steady says connecting audio. Steady says that, so his audio, his connection must not be very good because it just says connecting audio the whole time. And he's been on long enough; it should have finished the connection by now. So we got video, no audio. We got video, no audio. So, Don, I don't know what's going on with it, brother. I can't hang around all night for it, but I don't know why it's doing that. But it says you're trying to connect the audio and it doesn't have that. So, all right, Don, we'll have to have you catch back with us here next week, brother. I don't know what's going on with your Zoom connection. Usually, I guess you're okay, but tonight it just doesn't seem to be connecting the audio. So, because it just says it's connecting the audio, it's not actually catching on to it. I don't know why. But, Don, try to catch us next time here, bro. We've been on 5 hours here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hey, y'all, we're in the survival sex era. Fellas, just understand, most of these females are talking to you because what she really wanted didn't come along. Talking to the young man I just got off the phone with here and off Zoom with here in Atlanta. Perfect textbook example. If she actually had what she really wanted to be a difficult thing right here, the environment is more economically treacherous than it's ever been. And a lot of these females are trying to figure out how they're going to survive. And she has not given up on her dreams. She wants that dream car. She wants that dream house. She wants them dream clothes. She wants that dream dude so she can live the dream. But she dreams of not financing it her damn self. That's where you're supposed to come in. And right now, what they're saying is, I'll be damned. If I can't get to myself, let me see if I can latch myself onto a fella who'll keep me above water until we do. And that may end up being you. But just understand you are not respected in that position. That's the problem with it, is you're not respected. If she's with you for survival, then that's not where she really wants to be. So just beware. 550 cities with $1 million housing. 550 cities where the price is $1 million median. You think that she wants to step down from that? Hell no. She's like, she don't give a damn if the price is $100 million. She expects you to be the guy who figures out how to get that. And she will lay up with you if it means surviving. She will lay up with you if it means survival. That's all she got to do to get that. If that's surviving, she'll go for it. I'm just the guy letting you know. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Let me go ahead and give a shout out here. My man Black Voltron, Chief Rocka, Pharaoh's Kingdom, Project Leroy, and everyone else here who has contributed for tonight's program. On PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat. Thank you very much to all of you. We appreciate that there. All my new channel members here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us here as well. Rich, Chris, who is that? Alonda. Thank you all very much. I hope that this has elucidated. Look it up. I hope that this has illuminated this for you. Put this in a new light for you going forward. Keep your eyes and your ears open because it's just begun. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. You are more than welcome to join us there as well. We'll be doing this every weekend, 12 noon Central Time. Be there. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program. Thank you for watching live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.